God bless you.
God bless you. Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
Joining us in the studio today, Paul Bragin. What's up, sir?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Mediocre at best. How delicious is that fucking tune, though?
Dude, I feel like
when that beat hits you. Oh.
Take out the lyrics because I don't think they would know what BBL Drizzy is decades ago, but you just listen to the music, it sounds like something straight out of like 60s, 70s R&B soul. Like it sounds like something Motown would put out.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, dude. It's a beautiful thing. Holy
I am
shit.
an old soul. So like here's my
Well, you just mean you're a J.
Well, so here's my maybe unpopular opinion when it comes to the world of music. If you were not already famous by the time the Beatles broke up, you should have to like fill out paperwork to make music. Like if you were already famous by the time the Beatles broke up in like 1970, you're grandfathered in.
100%.
But if you weren't already famous, you got to fill out paperwork, and then we wouldn't have to deal with a certain Canadian rock band that will go unnamed on this pod.
They're Justin Bieber's making shoes now.
I don't want. Good for him,
dude. They look fire. I low-key want a pair.
I don't follow him too closely, but I did see a disturbing video recently.
Oh, he for sure got diddled.
Well, we've already established that in the
Bieber
in Comedy Cachet number 2.
Wait, Bieber got.
Oh, dude, there is. I try to stay clean on this podcast. So I will make reference to his. I'm not going to say it out loud on the podcast, but I will tell you something somebody said on the Comedy Central roast of Justin Bieber. That like when I heard it, I was like, dude, that's gross and weird. Why would they say that? And now that stuff is coming out, I was like, oh my gosh, like they knew something and nobody called the cops. And shame on all those people.
Tom,
what's
dude,
up?
Don't cough into the microphone. Can you Google did Bieber's beehole get fadiddled?
It's not confirmed yet. But
it's not confirmed?
It's might as well be confirmed.
You know, there's a problem with that, with like these young stars that like
with their brown star.
Yeah, brother, like these young kids are getting so famous so fast. Like Macaulay Culkin's a prime example, but like they get so famous so fast, and then they're in this horrendous culture that is ran by an unnamed establishment of horrible people. I don't know, just like
Hollywood people who want to abuse children.
Yeah, rich old dirty dudes that just want to like fuck. Yeah.
One thing I remember watching. You know, they used to have all these.
I'm gonna cop a pair of these.
They used to always have like these hour-long.
Look at these big old fuzzy house like Paul. You should get some of these to do radio in. These just look like radio.
Nice.
These right here.
Those look like.
Oh my gosh, I want these so bad.
Those look like slippers that Hoka would make.
Those are fire, dog.
I
need a pair of those.
No, but I remember. You guys remember Melissa Joan Hart? Clarissa Explains It All. Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Was that her name? Melissa Joan Hart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she die?
No. She's still alive.
Oh, sick, dude.
Like when she first got, she was on Nickelodeon as a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And her mom was an executive producer on her show just to make sure.
Slimed out.
And so, like, I mean, I saw a documentary about her, and her mom said to, like, all the other producers, my daughter is 14. You will dress her like she's 14. You're not going to turn her into an object of lust for dirty old men,
aka a slut.
And if anything like that happens, I'm pulling the plug on this. And like every parent in Hollywood needs to be that.
Paul, do you ever go to trivia night?
Oh, dude, we need to go to a trivia night together.
Dude, yeah, I feel like
I don't want.
We get Paul an Adderall, and then we take him to trivia night, and we just get drunk and let Paul answer all the questions.
Fucking freaking the fuck out, dude. Just like scribbling things with his eyes closed. Like.
It'll look like that meme of Zach Galifianakis with the numbers going by.
So since we record this, and then the episode will come out in about a month or so, I'll say this on air because it'll be past, and we'll have already won. This coming Wednesday, if you guys are available, you ever been to Hush on Main? It's a speakeasy style bar on Main Street.
I've not.
I've heard of it.
I've been there a couple times. It's cool. I actually did a little bit of acting there.
Is it
recently.
nice?
Yeah, I like it. It's a cool vibe.
Is it in a basement?
Yeah, you got to go down a flight of stairs.
Hold on a second.
These J's in their underground location.
Yeah, you guys do like.
Hey, it's not a tunnel. It's just straight stairs.
Hey, real quick before I mention what I'm about to mention about Hush, is it? I have to know because I'll tell him to stop. Is it more offensive if he says J's? or is it more offensive if he says Jew?
Well, here's the thing.
If he's saying it in a non-derogatory way.
I mean, that's a term. Like, if you're describing somebody's ethnicity.
Thank you.
Like,
when he says
Jew.
J, I feel like it's fucking super aggressive.
I mean,
dude.
I could see. Here's the thing. I like pretty much 90.
Maybe it's just your look you got going on.
Pretty much 99.9% of stuff doesn't offend me. Like, I don't know if we talked about this or not. One time,
You want to talk about our text message thread from last weekend?
I'd have to pull it up. I have a basic.
Pull it up. Pull it up, Paul.
I don't think you
Tell
said
the world about
I
it.
don't think you said Shabbat Shalom last weekend.
No, but I said it today when you arrived.
God
you
damn,
did.
dude, it's so fucking bad.
Mother's
so
Day.
bad. Mother's Day.
Well,
Shabbat Shalom.
Well, we can edit this out in a second. We are recording
Kosher?
this.
Yeah.
We are recording this on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You're not watching this.
yeah, this is.
Shout out to all the moms celebrating Mother's Day that won't have a kid.
Oh God, that's brutal.
Podcast tomorrow. Oh yeah. Because we saw each other. I guess it was last weekend.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We can talk about that. We can not talk about it if you want to.
said, Paul, where'd you go? You didn't say goodbye.
And I said,
Tell it. Say it.
I said,
say it, you motherfucker.
do you know what was said? So this is just for the world now. I said, yeah, I am a master of both the Irish goodbye and the Jewish goodbye.
And I said, what's the Jewish goodbye?
It's where you take something on your way out.
I said, I thought that was Kwanzaa.
Oh God damn it!
No,
I
there
love
was-
that so
there
much.
And then I texted Paul and I was like, hey man, you want to come on the podcast Sunday? And he's like, I got to check. It's Mother's Day. And I said, I thought Jews only celebrated things on their father's side of the family.
No, there's a bit of a running joke in the family. One time we went up to New York to visit family, and it was Passover, so it was the Passover Seder.
Yeah.
And somebody, somebody that lived close by, who could take leftovers home, took like a bunch of leftovers home.
Because it would have been what's the opposite of what's haram in Jewish?
Non-kosher.
See, and like my family,
There's
doesn't-
not a word for it. It's just non-kosher.
Well,
That's
I mean,
so
kosher.
vanilla.
So first of all, kosher is like the word basically, and my family doesn't do that. There is the word kashrut, which what the difference is between kashrut and kosher? It's the same thing.
Kosher is like good. Kosher is
Yeah,
cool.
kosher
Is like it abides by
yeah,
Judaism.
kosher is halal.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
halal I thought was bad.
No, halal is Muslim.
Halal is
Halal- so-
Islam for good. It's equivalent of kosher, but then they have haram, which is
Haram is
opposite
the
of
bad
halal.
Did you guys watch the TV show The Office?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, do you remember the episode? I think it was the episode where they took a field trip to Gettysburg,
The address?
the
didn't
place
see this
were a
one.
bunch of people died in the Civil
A
War.
bunch of people died in the 1860s.
Okay, so like they,
Catch up, brother.
Yeah.
they were
We're going to
taking,
camp there?
they were taking a field trip to Gettysburg,
Oh,
and Andy
fuck.
Bernard, the manager of the office, said, "Oh, we've got lunch prepared. We also have a kosher option and a halal option." And the character Ryan Howard, who's played by a Jewish guy, says, "What's the halal option?" And Andy Bernard says, "Oh, it's like dates and cream cheese and a couple." He rattled off a couple.
You know,
other
Ryan
things.
actually wrote the show.
Oh yeah, he wrote several episodes, and he said, "Yeah, that's the halal option." He said, "That's also the kosher option. Oh, something to think about."
Yeah.
I do have a legitimate question though. The dad thing that you brought up, like I thought Jews only celebrated things on their father's side. That's fucking hilarious. First off, but secondly, also, why is it like in Catholicism? I think Islam's the same way, and Judaism, and under all of them, they treat women like shit.
I mean,
Not
Why is it?
necessarily.
Well,
if you read the text verbatim, they treat fucking wives horribly.
I mean,
they're like material items. You know what I mean?
Well, not. I would argue Catholicism is not that. I mean, in
Ooh.
Judaism and Islam.
Let me refer to my Catholic
Well,
panel.
I would say it's varied because like in Catholicism there are saints that are women.
Yeah, like
That's
the
true.
the Virgin Mary's up here. I don't know if we're getting this. On
Yeah, then you
camera or
got
not.
Joan of Arc somewhere
Yeah, like the Virgin
Yeah,
Mary's
that's
way
true.
up here
that they
then-
killed, and then years
everybody
later
else
we're
is
like,
down
you
here.
know what?
My bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My bad, dog.
Yeah, they screwed up that one.
Really drop the ball on Joan of Arc, dude.
Dude, I was thinking about like when we're in nursing homes when we're older, what it'll be like, and I think it'll just be a bunch of like ads. like just from different rooms, like somebody would be like Red Robin, and then like 6 rooms down, somebody would be like Yum, like, or like just all the dumb shit, just random dumb shit that gets stuck in our heads now.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Right.
So one time,
Paul's gonna break out and do it like a WKDQ commercial.
So one time I was at a comedy show and Chris Izzy was there. And like after the show, he made a comment. He said, like when our grandparents like would play music, like when there was a big family gathering, grandma would say, I'm going to put on some music. Like they'd play like Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, the stuff they grew up with.
Yeah, dude.
And he said, like when we're older, like we're going to be playing Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem. And another comic and I don't remember who the other comic was, because Chris Izzy was like, this could turn into a bit. This sounds like a joke. And this other comic and I looked at Chris Izzy and we both basically at the same time said, the comic Nick Swartzen has that exact joke in a Comedy Central.
My aunt was talking about. I was talking about kind of the same thing to her the other day, and they were talking about it's crazy that when you age, like she heard Metallica in the doctor's office the other day, where like
that's wild.
And she was like that. She's like, that's crazy that like we were in high school listening to it, and now it's.
But low key though, we are getting to an age. I don't know. Paul has never disclosed his age.
Well, he sacrifices a cow every year.
I think he refuses to disclose his age. But me being in my mid-30s, I think it's wild that like Bowling for Soup is on classic rock radio now.
Yeah, and so,
and Blink 182, and you know what I mean? Like, these are classic rock bands. Like, bro, that was like 4 days ago.
I work...
That was like last week, I remember.
Yeah, and as we've established, one of my jobs is working at 99.9 FM and 1540 AM WBNL Radio in Boonville, Indiana.
Insert logo here.
Online at radio1540.net and the TuneIn Radio app. And it's billed as a classic country station. But then, like, I'll be listening to, because I work there.
Yeah, the queue.
And then it'll, like, a song will come up like Kenny Chesney and Uncle Kracker from, like, 2002.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, like, and here's the thing, like, everything is computerized. So, like, I can always go on YouTube and, like, pull up a Johnny Cash song and just play it.
Yeah.
But, most it's all on its own computer kind of thing. And it just randomly selects songs. And so, it's classic country. And apparently, classic country is a whole bunch of stuff from the 90s. And it's like, no, like classic country is like Cash and Nelson, Patsy Cline,
I can get behind like 80s being classic country.
Yeah.
Like I can see that because they were, I don't know. I mean, it's.
You don't think 2001?
No, I don't think 2000s at all, dude. No,
Thankfully, I'll say that. So
a lot of good country music came out in 2001.
I know.
After the last quarter. Quarter of the year.
And and so we have played on our station Aaron Tippin's Where the Stars and Stripes and Eagles Fly, which was, as a result of 9/11.
Yeah, never forget.
Never forget.
Paul, when's the last time you ever peed in a jug?
God bless you.
Thank you. Well, first off, let's start off with, have you ever peed in... Actually, Tom, I like your strategy. Let's assume you've pissed in a jug. I think you're that kind of guy. When's the last time you pissed in a jug?
There was a water bottle. And this would have been the year would have been 2020, I think.
Really? So it's been like 6 years since you peed in a bottle?
So
damn.
So
what about you, Brian? How long has it been for you?
Oh, fuck, dude. Not long at all.
Like 3 months for me, tops.
Yeah, like max 1 year. Max 1 year. Yeah.
So in 2020, that was when I started work. So technically, even if I'm going to say working at the radio station is job number 1, I didn't start working their morning show till 2021.
Yeah.
And so the job I call job number 2 that I don't disclose on here because they don't pay me enough and treat me like garbage.
Right. They do sell cotton candy grapes, though.
Fuck them.
A lot of places sell cotton candy grapes.
Now that I've said that, please don't disclose anymore.
Yeah. So,
your groceries just went up by 60 cents on the item.
And so I was working at that job, and somehow a guy down in Madisonville got my name from somebody. He knew I worked in, he knew I had a radio background. He said, hey, my morning show guy is going on vacation next week. Can you fill in for me? Like drive down to Madisonville every day and fill in at my radio show?
And
I
you
said,
get there
sure.
and all it is ad reads for the grocery store. We have a discount on aisle 3, 30 cents off the mac and cheese.
No, so what it was, I told my boss at job number 2, I was like, hey, like I got to fill in at this morning show down in Madisonville, in the next week or whatever. So like I'll be getting here at like 11 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Okay, fine. And the date was October 5th. Now on October 5th of 2002, I saw Paul McCartney live in concert.
Hell yeah.
Dude, great, like best show ever.
Still alive, too.
Yes, dude.
Still alive.
Hopefully I win the lottery and it's enough money that I say to Paul and
Do you
Ringo.
play the lottery, Paul?
No, I do not buy lottery tickets. Yeah, so just where we're
Can't
going.
win if you don't play, brother.
So I win in my mind, I win like the big Mega Millions jackpot. And I told Paul and Ringo, hey, you two come to Evansville, perform on stage together. You know, you each get $1 million.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And they would do it too. They'd be
yeah.
out there with their fucking COPD and their little wheelchairs and hell yeah, dude.
So October 5th, 2002, I see Paul McCartney live in concert. And then like they put out like a CD of like that tour. And so and I got it for Christmas. And so every year on October 5th, I listen to that CD. And
oh yeah.
in a best case scenario is like I just sit with headphones for 2 hours and because it's 2 CDs. And I just listen to both CDs back to back. But sometimes, because of, extenuating circumstances, like, okay, I'm going to listen to one CD now, and then I got to go do something, then I'm going to listen to CD number 2 later.
You got an edge.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You do need a good edge.
And so what ended up happening was, like, on the way down to Madisonville for this, 1 week radio gig.
I was wondering how this was going to tie into pissing in a bottle.
I listened
Forgot all about it.
Yeah, bro.
I listened to CD number 1 on the way down to Madisonville, and I listened to CD number 2 on the way back to the way back from Madisonville back to job number 2. And it's like, man, the CD's almost over. Really got to go. There's an empty water bottle in the car, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're doing this.
You did it while. Hold on, this is important. You did it while driving.
No, the car was stopped.
Okay,
but I didn't want to interrupt.
While driving's the best time.
Yeah, that's
no,
risky
dude.
maneuver.
Well, if you fill the bottle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's in the car, it's got to be at least a Gatorade bottle.
See, Gatorade bottle is a good move, but that's why I drink like the 16 and 20 ounce bottles because like you can get a good amount of piss in one of those. You know, what I mean?
My grandpa fucking took a jug and put a funnel in it and taped it together and wrote "pee jug" on it. And like my grandma just found it on his bed, like underneath his nightstand.
Fuck it, dude. That's fine, man.
I just saw a picture, like it might have been today, on the interwebs, where it's and it showed a bottle full of urine, and it said, "Thanks to all those truck drivers for leaving these bottles of apple juice for thirsty hikers out on the road."
Hell yeah, that's nice.
I have a really dark story about water bottles.
Let's hear it.
Referring to the male genitalia.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the tequila water bottle.
Oh no! That you can tell that story next though. But a fun, it does. I mean, it doesn't. That one's pretty good though. It's short. But yeah, in Afghanistan, dude. Yeah, we would like multiple. I wasn't the only one, but there were like multiple dudes that would like jerk off into water bottles. Yeah. So like you have like nowhere to like put your stuff or whatever.
In the sand?
So you just like put the tip and just get it in there, and that's where all the baby making
Like
juices
milking
go.
a snake.
No,
Literally.
just literally
like
milking
the
a snake, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be amiss if I didn't carry that religion on with me through my latter years. Yeah,
That's
so it's still a frequent. Every now and then, whenever I want to feel like I'm in Afghanistan, I just get like a water bottle and I'm like,
Buy a bag of sand and bust it open.
rub it all on my fucking nuts. I'm just like, yeah, there we go. Now I feel
Smoke
like
Camels.
I'm back in the shit, dude. Back in the shit. Yeah, that's fun stuff, man. Do you want to share your what now?
No, not really. Paul, have you ever taken Adderall?
I have not.
You should. You would benefit, I think.
You could probably write a book.
You would. I guarantee it. You could write a book in like a day.
Are we talking fiction or nonfiction?
Well, what do you like? What do you get down on nonfiction, Paul, or are you a fiction guy?
Are you a history nerd?
I am a history nerd. I used to read a lot more, but as we've established on multiple episodes of this podcast, I work 2 jobs. And so I'm at a point in my like I've got books by my bed that I pick them up and then put them down, and it's just like I am too tired for this.
How many languages do you know?
So obvious. Oh, I barely know English. Minored in Spanish in college. In 2023, right before, I don't know if we talked about this, right before stuff happened, or a couple months before stuff happened, my dad and I got to go to Israel, and so. That was 2023. In 2020, when everybody was in lockdown mode, and it's like, oh, we gotta better ourselves. I was like, I'm gonna learn Hebrew, And
you didn't already know it?
Oh no. So I talked about it. I haven't told this joke in a while on stage because it's the moment has kind of passed. But I would say, people are trying to better themselves during the pandemic. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to learn Hebrew, and I've been at it for a year, and all I've figured out how to do is ask for beer and wine in Hebrew. So if I'm at a restaurant in Tel Aviv, I'll be doing just fine. But if I need a doctor in Bethlehem, I'm going to die over there. My only request, if I die over there, take my body to Jerusalem, bury me as close to Jesus as possible.
Oh, yeah, dude. Shout out to J-Dog.
Yeah.
Shout out to J-Dog.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's wild. No, I just assumed because, like, when you're younger and, like, you're, like, becoming of age, I thought there was, like, a Jewish
Bar mitzvah, is that what you're thinking?
Well, no, there's, like, a Jewish thing.
Did you have a bar mitzvah?
I did not have bar mitzvah.
You're not even fucking Jewish.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about this then. No, but all jokes aside, there really is like a like when you're coming of age for I think boys, not for the girls, but they do like a ceremony.
They do one for the girls too.
You are. It sounds like what you were talking about is the bar mitzvah for boys and bat mitzvah for girls, which
but
I
it's
think is
a ceremony in the synagogue where they like have you go up and you read from the book in Hebrew. And you like read a passage. I don't know if you choose the passage, but it's like during that time of like coming of age, and it's like a big deal for you to go in front of the entire establishment, and you're like,
that sounds more terroristy.
But no, but they do, bro.
And
Google it, so I'm not full of shit.
You are describing almost to a T the bar mitzvah.
Is it something that does part of the bar mitzvah take place in the synagogue?
Oh yeah,
as a ceremony?
it's like
Okay,
there's the
then that's what
synagogue
it is.
ceremony, and then like you go out to a restaurant and it's a big party.
Okay.
As far
Glass is broken.
Well, a lot they break glass a lot of times.
Yeah, but a bar mitzvah, in my mind, is just like a big birthday party.
That's basically what it is. It's a huge birthday party. And as far as the reading, I'm a little confused on that because I always thought it was like you go on whatever day it is.
Yeah.
And so in Judaism, they read through the first 5 books of the Bible in a year.
Yeah.
And so just like whatever day you go up for your bar mitzvah, whatever the section is that day, like you read that section. But then I went to a bar mitzvah, I want to say it was last year. It was here in Evansville. I went to a bar mitzvah, and it wasn't at the synagogue. They just did it at the armory. And
nice, very classy.
The kid who was the bar mitzvah boy, his name was Ezekiel. and so he read from the book of Ezekiel, which is not one of the first 5 books. Gotcha. So apparently it's one of the, I don't know all the rules.
Yeah, I have a follow-up question to following up on the Judaism. Do you ever wish that you looked more Jewish?
No. I mean, well, we might have to edit that out. We might have to edit that out because that was
a quick answer.
That might sound real offensive.
Well, all jokes aside, like I really don't think you look like that Jewish.
I mean,
I think you look like.
Is that, I don't know.
No, I really don't think you do. I think you look like very you look very domesticated. You look like very watered down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like many generations of being watered down.
I know. I think it was the episode we did with.
Damn, that's really offensive. I take back that question immediately.
Well, I think.
You look like a baptized Jay.
In the episode we did with it was me and Janice Barniak.
Gosh, she's so great, dude.
I mentioned a comic who came to Evans or Newburgh one time named Rena Kalm, who's a Jewish girl.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if I might have mentioned this joke that she said in her act, but she made the comment, she wants to see like a Jewish dating app, and the picture, it's just the nose, and call it Tindler's List. Credit to Rena Kalm for that. I'm not stealing a joke. That joke is from Rena Kalm, and it's a great joke. And I'll send her the link to this. I don't have her contact information, but I'll look her up. I have to send her 2 links now. I got to send her the link to the Janice Barniak episode and this one now when this comes out.
Nice.
Tindler's List, bro. Hey, that is. I don't even feel bad about my question.
Rena Kalm, come back to Evansville. Let me open for you.
Oh, dude. So you okay? Yeah. All right. That's cool.
Dude, Paul made a joke before the show, something about dicks or whatever. I forget what the joke was.
That?
Oh, he said, "Do you have any spare?"
Oh, dude, we might have to cut that.
Foreskin laying around. Yeah.
Well, so the other night I was trying to sleep and I put on Hulu has a like docu series on Genghis Khan, and it's basically that book.
Yeah.
But it's like people talking about it, but it's essentially that Genghis Khan and the Making the Modern World book.
Yeah, I've read it.
And I fell asleep during it. like towards the end, and I woke up and it was talking about like the Aztecs. And for like body counts, they used to like kill dudes and then cut their dicks off, and then they'd go back that like around their campsite that night, and he'd be like, "How many bodies you got, bro?" And he's like, "Oh, let me pull out my string of dicks here," and be like, "Oh, I got 12." Yeah. So yeah, I woke up to that in the middle of the night. Had to try to go back to sleep.
We're like, did you have like so?
Why are you so calm, dude?
Well,
that is fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's more of a. It's more. I'm in shock. You know.
Oh God, it's so disgusting.
So, like, were you worried that an Aztec warrior was going to break in at that point? Because if you're like, you know,
all I could think about was rabbis and their foreskin circumcisions, and then like if they had like a janitor's ring of foreskins.
Okay. So there is a specific
can't with you guys, dude. Y'all are wild, dude.
There is a specific word for a rabbi who performs circumcisions. It's called a moil. Like there are rabbis.
Don't.
I think I'm hoping that's just an Iraqi
He said, "Come
thing.
here,
It's
boy. Let me
weird."
get some more oral."
And so the joke I heard from a Jewish family member is did you hear about the moil who saved all the foreskin he cut over the years?
Nice.
He sewed it into a wallet, and then when he rubbed it, it turned into a suitcase.
Nice. But those big deals, you got to have that briefcase, you know?
I think I'm done with penis material.
We're done with dick material. All right. Sorry, all the Richards out there. You can tune out at this point.
I think it's interesting though. There's a ton of jokes that one can make about the male genitalia. I don't know. I'm here for it. I really am. But there's a fine line, and we're dancing it right now. We are dancing that fine line.
We might have crossed it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God damn.
I don't know. That was fun. Let's see what else is here.
You no.
Paul, you ever smoked weed?
No.
You haven't? Would you? Like on a Saturday,
Like we go camping in Missouri where it's legal.
Yeah,
We're around
then
the
you've got
campfire.
nothing else going on. There's nothing scheduled before. There's nothing scheduled after. You're just with your homies, i.e., myself and Tom, and we're in the woods. It's a very non-gay thing. And then we just sit down. No one's been drinking either. Don't say it's going to be gay because he'll say no then.
Oh, okay.
But then we just sit down and we just interact, and it takes place.
So there was one time.
Would you do it then?
Well, there was one time I was in college. And some people around me, were, like friends of mine, were
partaking.
They were partaking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you want to hit this? And I either had like a paper or a test coming up. I was like, no, I've got this paper or test in 3 days. And they were like, dude, like 3 days? Like, you got time? And I was like, no. And here's my thing about weed. I feel like I have the worst luck in the world. And so you hear people say like, oh, just put a towel under your door. If I put a towel under my door and smoke weed, I'm going to hear a knock at the door, and it's going to be the ATF, and they're going to haul me off. That is the luck I have.
Or
and that's
some gas will start filling in from the vents.
Yeah.
That's a really dark joke, Tom.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think you can say that word there. That's where you should have used a J.
Oh, you can't? So I
You
take
should have
that
used
one
a
out.
J there.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but that was dark.
Yeah.
You took it too far, I
A
think.
J about a J.
That was a little far. Hey, what are so I'm always interested in this because I get so much
Well,
fun.
I got another question before we...
Oh, you don't want to go to mine?
Well, Paul, if you go camping and after a long night of drinking, you wake up and your butt hurts, are you going to tell anybody?
And it's like you've been penetrated. For sure it hurts, like on the inside and the outside.
So the way somebody phrased it when I was in the Boy Scouts.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. hang on. Let's let you swallow. I should have known you were taking a drink because let me know when you're ready.
Because you weren't ready when you were in Boy Scouts, right?
This break in the action is brought to you by Old Forester.
That was going all over Paul.
Old Forester Seisman. It's 95
Yeah, literally
proof.
when he was a Boy Scout. It went all over
Bro,
Paul.
I'm sorry if I spit on you.
No, you're
I
good. You're
couldn't-
good. You're good.
God damn.
I mean, if Monica Lewinsky did it to me, I'll tolerate it when you do it to me too.
All right, so As I was, you were saying.
So the way the joke was told to me when I was in the Boy Scouts, one of my fellow Boy Scouts said, "Hey, you went camping and found a condom inside you, after you woke up one morning. Would you tell anybody?" And then you say no. "Hey, you want to go camping next weekend?"
Right. That's the joke.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, Cub Scouts probably isn't
Dude,
the
my
place
camping
to get
days
that.
are over at this point. Well, I've thought about this. Like,
Well,
You
we're
don't want to
going-
go camping?
Yeah, we're
Here's the
going
thing.
the first weekend in August.
Yeah, dude.
You should
Here's-
come with, Paul. A float trip, get lit, float down the river.
Oh, it's so much
one
fun,
of my
dude.
thoughts about camping now. So, like, I might have messed up my shoulder last year on a run.
On a run?
Yeah, dude, it sucks.
What the
You're
fuck?
robbing
How do you
bank?
fuck your shoulder up
Yeah,
on a run?
I wish I knew, dude. Again, I have bad luck. So, like, I went camping in the Boy Scouts and I enjoyed it. But I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I always want there to be a bed and four walls around me if I'm asleep.
You
Generally,
got 4 walls and a sleeping bag. That's
Well,
close
I mean,
enough.
yeah, and again, like you can still be like out in nature, but like
Dog,
in a cabin.
Brian and them were camping all wrong until I came along.
Bro, he gets all fired up on the cooking, dude.
Oh, I'm all about campfire cooking. Yeah,
He's good at it. So, like, me, dude, I'll literally eat beef jerky and water.
and that, I'm there for that too.
That is all that I need.
Brian's
say
like
water, can
he's like Vienna sausages, water, and like Pop-Tarts.
See,
That's all I need.
I would go classic. I'd go beef jerky, trail mix, some other traditional campy type stuff.
But think about it this way, Tom, just food for thought. If you were in survival mode in the woods and you didn't want people to know where you were, you didn't want people to even know you existed, and you were just trying to survive in the woods,
Yeah, but Pop-Tarts are only going to last you so long.
but you need to think about items that you can eat that don't have to be
I mean, anything I get my
campfire.
hands on.
Yeah, exactly. But
Pint-
like campfire equals hello, I'm
Yeah.
Not
here.
always.
Most times. You can smell a fire from miles
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
Yeah, it's dangerous. So I'm just used to like bare minimum.
See, yeah, two things I remember like learning this on a field trip in grade school is like two things you can eat out in nature if you're like in survival mode: pine needles and grass.
Yeah, grass. You can if it's actually fucking grass.
Yeah.
You got to. There's some sketchy onions out there. Some really dicey mushrooms that'll make you sick.
And like I remember I stumbled
Yeah.
on a Wikipedia page one time.
Weeds will make you sick too.
I can't remember the guy's name, but there was some guy who I don't know what his deal was, but he went out into the woods
Mm-hmm.
and for like 27 years he only came across 3 people.
it's hot.
Yeah.
He lived for 27 years in the woods.
And
Is that what you're
crossed
telling
paths
me?
with 3 people the entire time.
Was this like the Appalachian Hills or something?
Yeah, or upstate New York. It was out it wasn't,
He was
Franklin
deep.
Street.
He was
yeah.
deep. He was deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Paul, when you wear flip-flops, are they thongs or slides?
I do not, dude. I can't tell you the last. Well, okay.
You don't
the
let
last,
those dogs
Just
out?
loafers?
The last time
Do you
I
go
wore
loafers with no socks?
the last time I wore anything open-toed ish was in the Dead Sea in Israel, and they said, oh, when you go in the Dead Sea, like whatever you're wearing, you got to be okay with throwing it away when you're done because like the salt, there's a good chance
Erodes
it's going to eat every,
Yeah.
And then like all the shoes and clothes I was wearing came out fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shock.
My one
Plot
regret with the Dead Sea is there's a bar there, and it's like this is the lowest bar in the world. And so
Lowest elevation.
Lowest elevation. And so like the group I was with, like some of the people didn't want to go in the Dead Sea, and so they just hung out at the bar. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend some time in the Dead Sea, and then I want to stop at the bar and have a drink, And then at one point they're like, hey, everybody, like, we got to be back on the bus in like 10 minutes. So get out of the sea, shower, and on the bus. And it's like, okay, so now I got to go back. I got to go back to Israel. I'd like to go back
to hit the bar.
to hit that bar and do some other stuff.
Also, is the Dead Sea that's so interesting. I didn't know you had been there. I'm so fascinated. Did you actually like get a chance to like just lay on your back and float?
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Because the buoyancy is different with that much salt. So is there anything alive in the Dead Sea?
No, no fish, no plants, nothing. The only thing alive in the Dead Sea are the tourists there.
Really?
And even some of those, depending on
Did
how
they
old
tell you
are.
about like microbes or anything? There's no microbes?
I don't think that. I mean, they're, I don't know what they take
No
something under a
tardigrades?
micro-
Yeah, tardigrades, dude. We've been looking at these tardigrades. Tardigrades?
Yeah.
Tardigrades or tardigrades?
Tardigrades.
I think it's tardigrade. But we've been looking at how much do you know about tardigrades?
That word's not in the Bible. I have no idea
Will you
what
pull up
that means.
tardigrades real quick while we're talking about it? They're like these little mini, what'd you call them, Tom? They're wild horses?
They're nicknamed like Little Water Bear, aren't they?
Oh, little water bears.
There were little water bears in an episode of South Park.
Yeah, I bet tardigrades live in the Dead Sea.
Oh, I wonder.
Tardigrades, yeah, these dudes, they live in outer space.
Yeah, that looks like something that was in an episode of South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, tardigrades, man. Actually, Tom, while you're Googling, Google, can tardigrades live in the Dead Sea? Just, can tardigrades live in the Dead Sea? Live in the Dead Sea, and then, and then can, and then go to the end, and then live in the Dead Sea. I'm really curious. Dead Sea. I'm really curious, and then go, No, it is unlikely that tardigrades could survive in the Dead Sea due to its extremely high salinity. Interesting. Nice. While tardigrades are known for their resilience and ability to survive in extreme environments, the Dead Sea's salinity is so high that it excludes most forms of life, even those adapted to high salt concentrations. That is so wild that, like, not even a fucking tardigrade.
That's where, like, Sodom and Gomorrah was, or whatever one turned to pillars of salt.
Well, that was one chick. You know, one chick. So, like, a bunch of people died.
What are we talking about? Hold on. Slow down.
Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife turned around to look, and she got turned into salt.
Yeah. God said, hey, you got to run out of the city.
And not
Don't look back. Lot's wife, I'm going to look back. She looks back and turns into a pillar of salt. And there is, like, a rock formation. I don't think we saw it, or we might have seen it from, like, miles away kind of thing. But, you know, you can watch any number of, like, travel shows on the TV, and it'll be like, oh, that's the Lot's wife pillar.
Oh, nice. Dude.
Yeah.
Walk by,
Sick,
slap
dude.
that ass.
Man, it's such a stereotypical thing. Like,
Slap
fucking
an ass.
No, you're like in a dangerous situation with a woman, and you're like, hey, whatever you fucking do, don't fucking do this. And they're like,
I'm going to do it. You mean like Adam and Eve were, hey, don't eat the fruit. And you know what? I'm going to eat the fruit. That's a good idea.
Prime example, dude. Yeah, dude, not to be sexist or anything, but dude, there's just too many examples.
Yeah,
like,
no, there's a joke about, you know.
I don't think my wife would do that. I
Never
really
ask,
don't.
Never ask a woman where she wants to eat because, you know, the first time that happened, she doomed all of humanity.
Yeah. I really don't. What do you think about do you think yours would pop off if you were like, hey, we're in a dangerous situation. If you do this, you'll die. Don't do
I don't
this.
know.
Do you think she would do that thing?
Probably, I don't know.
I know Kristen wouldn't. If I was like, whatever you do, don't. She wouldn't.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's tough though. She's a tough broad. She's a survivor. I don't know. Oh, showers, dude. I want to talk nudity. So like when you're popping in for a nice shower after a long day, dude, and then you get out, you finally feel clean, you feel reset, and you're ready to finish your day or whatever. You pop out of the shower, you got the towel on, you throw that towel to the ground. What is the first article of clothing you put on? I'm
gonna say underwear.
Fucking psychopath.
What is your correct answer?
Socks.
Mine is socks.
See,
What's yours?
It's either socks or underwear. Depends.
I feel like it's a habitual thing. It's got to be.
I always do, like, I always have socks on.
See,
in the shower, you have socks on?
Sometimes.
See, I feel like what I do most of the time, and this might make me more of a psychopath, I'm not sure.
That's a good
like,
answer.
I will take, clean underwear into the bathroom with me, when I shower, and then when the shower's over, I put on the clean underwear, and then just walk down the hall just in underwear, and then go to my room and put on socks and pants and a shirt.
Follow-up question. Actually, it's like a two-part.
Well, do you have animals?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, now, second follow-up question. Do you ever just walk around your house barefoot? Like skin to floor?
Oh, yeah.
See?
I
don't.
I'm generally like a shoes-off person in the house.
Shoes off is fine, but socks? Or do you generally walk around like barefoot, skin to floor often? Because I do not. I find it like kind of gross because I have dogs. And I don't want like dog hair stuck to my feet. And so like the first thing I literally will like dry off with my towel in the tub. Okay. Take the towel off, put it on the ground.
And do you let your dogs lick your legs?
I step on that, and then I like pat off the bottom of my feet so they're dry-ish. I grab my socks, boop, boop. That's the very first thing every single dude.
Okay.
So many people have fucking judged me for putting my socks on first, and I am here to say, eat shit, all of you. I'm serious, bro. I like that. My feet are clean. I don't want to like get them fucking gross again. You know what I mean?
And I'll try to say this diplomatically. This is a family.
No,
this is
insult
a family.
me.
This,
Insult
no,
me.
No, this is a
This
family.
is a family show.
This is a
After we
family
just gotta
show.
Talk about dicks for 20
No,
minutes.
this is a family show. If
family show.
if you get out of the shower and the wife kind of winks at you, if you've only got socks on, like,
It's go time.
Go time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are more dressed than that, it's like, well, I gotta, it's gonna take a second here.
Yeah, I gotta get down to the. No, yeah, dude. If I have socks on, I'm
Dude,
ready.
What if we just like we wrote a stand-up set for Paul, but then we also like made a Tinder for Paul?
For Tendler's List? It'd be great, dude. It'd be fucking great.
We just set Paul up on a bunch of blind dates.
Only blind people, of course.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh no,
Okay, so like
maybe one or two. That'd be funny.
I
it
don't
would be.
I don't swing that way, but
Well, you don't
What-
like blind
no,
people,
no, no,
Paul?
no,
You
no, no,
piece
no, no, no.
of shit.
no, like
He said nobody
Time out,
with
time out.
disabilities.
So when somebody says, I don't swing that way, I feel like we kind of know what they're talking about.
Yeah, gay stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I don't swing that way, but what if you set me up on a blind date with Stevie Wonder? Not for anything
Is he
romantic. Oh, he is definitely alive.
God bless
Sadly,
you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Ray Charles has died several
Yeah,
years
Ray
ago.
Charles
Could
died.
you imagine like how much shit like a blind frat boy would get into? Like imagine how many dicks he's accidentally touched.
Oh, I think it's cute that you put the word accidentally in there.
Well, accidentally on his part, but like you know what I mean. Somebody's like standing in a doorway,
Like that's
with
hazing.
their-
That's hazing for somebody else. Like, hey, go stand there,
Right.
and just wait for it to happen.
How many guys?
with your nuts on the back of the toilet for when he goes to flush. You know what I mean? Like all the weird. If you're so quiet and still,
How many grown men do you think live in this world that are like single-handedly gay because they were a part of a fraternity? Like,
I don't know. Probably
that's a
good
legitimate
amount.
question.
Like they didn't think they were gay until they were like.
But
wearing
it
a
like
frat.
exposed to something in them.
Yeah.
They were like, 30% of me
If
likes
you're
cock.
if you're a blind person, are you still a cuck, or is it called something else because you're not really actually watching?
Ooh, dude, if you could
Wait.
think of a funny name for a blind cuck,
So a cuck is like I'm married to a woman and she's fooling around with somebody
and
else.
you watch.
Do you have to watch, or can you
Yes.
just be a cuck? Like, oh, she's off doing her
I'm
thing.
not sure the
and-
legality of the title,
I think,
but I think you have to watch.
I think you have to watch. I think that's like,
I mean, I guess technically, if you're in the room and your eyes are open, it's not your fault that you can't see anything out of them.
yeah,
Right, but then you're getting off only on the sound.
yeah.
Which then would that alter the definition of the
Do those
cuck?
guys beat off while they're watching their
I
wives
think
get?
it depends on if that's what they're into.
Really? So that's kind of like a. It's not a
Or
gay
they go
thing.
in for like seconds.
That's almost like a. What do you call
If
it?
you go in for seconds, that's gay.
No. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Here's how I'll defend that standpoint, because if you're with your homie,
Okay, but if your homie takes off a condom, are you going to use that same condom?
no, but here's
Okay,
my
then, well, then
here's my
if
defense.
you're-
Here's my defense. If you're with your homie and you both find a cute girl and she finds both of you attractive, and then one guy gets with said beautiful lady, and then you follow up behind, that's not gay.
Immediately?
Yeah, that's not
Even
gay.
if said first dude side?
Oh, don't make it so crude. But
That's gay.
then you just go to the beehole. I don't know.
It's gay. You're getting dripped on.
This is
Gay.
getting fucking gross, dude. I'm getting creeped out. But yeah, I don't. I hope your family doesn't listen.
Yeah,
to this,
dude,
Paul.
I'm not sharing this.
Maybe we'll put a disclaimer up for that part.
Maybe we'll just
Paul's
edit
family.
Well,
out that
I'm
entire
not
segment.
I'm also not going to share this podcast with my priest now.
I wouldn't,
yeah.
or any other subsequent podcast.
No.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I think if you could come up with a funny name for a blind cuck, that'd be a good bit. Like tie the name to being blind, but also Like, you know what I mean? That's a funny bit. Yeah. You'd have to find like the perfect name.
A Braille cut combo.
Yeah, like tie Braille into it somehow, or like auditory something. I don't know, but that's actually very
What instead of a pedophile, an audiophile, like an audiophile is somebody that goes around and like moves these and records the sound.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just an audiophile. So the guy does not looking in people's windows, but just like listening.
So he's like
audiophiliac.
So he's not a peeping Tom, he's a hearing Tom.
Yeah, but I think the term would have to get switched.
He's a hearing Thomas.
Like a hearing Henry.
Make it classy.
I don't know. That's tough, but I think we work on that. Because help yourself, brother. I think we do. I think that's a good bit.
It's no Remy, 1972 or whatever.
Oh, man.
1792?
Yeah, that Remy that you
Sacre
had.
Bleu, Le Cognac.
Yeah, that was some really French shit.
So, Paul, do you prefer bourbon over beer and everything else?
I mean, maybe this is a cop-out answer. It depends on the mood. Like, I can't imagine drinking bourbon at a baseball game.
Follow-up question. I'm glad this popped up. I knew this question was going to pop up. The moment he said, I think I'm going to try that Statesman, I was like, yeah, I'm going to ask this question. So let's say you've had like a really rough day, dude. Like one of the worst days.
At both jobs.
Yeah, like both jobs were just chaotic. Both went to shit so fast. Like you can't wait to get home to pet your dog that you don't have.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And you're like just looking to relieve some stress. As soon as you walk through the door, you have like your favorite beer of all time or your favorite bottle of all time. What is the drink that you have to like, you know what I mean? Like get that shitty day off of you. Do you go bottle or do you go your favorite beer of all time? Go.
I'm going Burnt Bees Unscented Lotion. Favorite bottle.
Nice.
Lotion? Oh, I think, okay.
Specifically cognac or bourbon, but like, do you do like a hard liquor drink after a really rough fucking day where you you got to get that stress off of you?
I feel
you got to shake it off.
I mean, my first impression, without spending a lot of time thinking about it, since this question is spur of the moment, is like, yeah, I feel like after a rough day, the hard liquor, like, just something about it is maybe better.
Yeah, it stings, so it like gets you. It like kind of, you're like, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I hate a rough day, dude. And when I have a really rough day, I drink Old Forester Statesman. This podcast brought to you by. No, I'm joking. But seriously, though,
what if we just shout out a bunch and just say like, hey, you know, like I don't expect to necessarily get corporate sponsorship.
God, that'd be great.
Friend of the show, Andy Imlay.
Yeah, he's so great.
Such a big deal.
One time for Halloween, he dressed up as the character Jimmy from South Park.
Nice.
Who we've all seen South Park.
Yeah.
So there's Timmy, who's in a wheelchair, and Jimmy, who uses crutches.
Oh yeah.
And so Andy Imlay has cerebral palsy, and he goes back and forth depending on like how he feels in a particular day. But like he'll either do a wheelchair or crutches depending on like his strength level, I guess. And so one year for Halloween, he dressed up as Jimmy, the kid on crutches from South Park. And he tweeted it out, and the guys at South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, saw it and sent him like every South Park DVD as a
No,
gift.
they didn't.
I talked to Andy. Like,
no, they didn't.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he's like, yeah, they sent me every DVD they ever made. Which, think about it. Like, those guys have got to be worth a gazillion dollars. So sending Andy Imlay 100 DVDs is nothing to them.
Do you think they don't do Make-A-Wish for kids over 18 because half of them would be sexual favors?
Chris Rock had a joke about that.
I just want a hand job. Oh, for the love of Jesus.
Chris Rock had that joke in his stand-up at one point. You go to some Make-A-Wish kid who's like, a teenager at that point. Hey, do you want to meet Jim Carrey? He's like, no, I want a stripper here.
Yeah, like, listen, I just want a pair of nice big fake tits in my face.
Paul, what's your dream girl look like?
Oh, and you have to include breasts, like implants or natural.
Well, Tom, what do your mom's breasts look like?
Sheesh.
Cream that ass, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Out here roasting dudes.
All
right, you go ahead. What does your dream woman look like?
I hate to sound like a bitch. I could, like, it's gonna, you can see it. Yeah. What I thought about, like, I might, I think we said this before the podcast. I try to keep it clean on this.
Yeah, well,
All right,
we can keep it clean.
Paul, here, we'll go. Do you play like Oblivion or Skyrim or any game like that?
No, dude, I haven't played video games in a while.
All right, well, we're building a race, so we got to start there. What race are we going with? Is she Asian?
I like
Is
this.
she
Completely-
white? Is she African?
Completely subjective, super aggressive, very offensive. I love this, dude. This is the Days Grimm.
This is my cop-out answer. Like, we got to start at a baseline of, is a girl interested in me?
Yes, this girl that you designed is
and so-
interested.
so,
She's
like-
a crisper wife.
What does that mean? I'm not up on the lingo.
CRISPR is the DNA sequencing AI software they're using to like, they can like literally build genes to like build a baby. You didn't know about this?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. My Catholic school upbringing is like just
CRSPR is the name of the program. They call it CRISPR. Yeah.
Like the woolly mouse, or how they brought
Oh,
back
how
the
they
dire
like
wolf.
the dire. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
that's the program they used to bring back
Similar.
an animal from
Similar.
extinction. It's probably going to kill us all.
Same, but different.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think AI will kill us before these do.
Yeah, it's
man.
similar to that, but I don't know that. Anyways, let's
what
back to the
race-
first question.
What race is
The first
your
question
future
is
wife?
way less offensive. Let's do. What does your dream woman look like? Who is your dream woman?
Big smile on her face and happy to see me when I come home every day.
Oh my God.
Dude, seriously, like, I mean,
You don't care, like
I don't care about, like,
aesthetics?
dude, no, like, you guys have seen me do stand up a couple times.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Brian's been to more of my shows. Thanks for coming out, Tom.
Always busy.
Oh, I've got a kid and a fiance.
Yeah.
No, a lot of my jokes are about how the modern dating scene is an absolute nightmare, and I want no part of it.
It's dog water.
And
dude.
a lot of my jokes are about how, like, women want to date guys that are taller than they are, and I'm not tall, so that really
But we can get you some of those shoes that make you like 2-3 inches taller.
the
and
lips,
here's-
dude. The
and
lips.
here's-
That would be a good sponsor
Dude, let's
for us.
pimp out Paul.
I've-
Pimp My Paul.
Oh my
Nice.
God! If we pimp out Paul, how do you feel about contacts, bro?
What?
Hear
Dude,
me out. Hear me out. We get Paul like fucking gushed. I'm talking
I say we
gushed.
take that money that's in our savings account and we pimp Paul out.
bro. Get
Hang
you
on, do you have a savings account for the podcast for like equipment?
Yes,
Dude, dude, buy better equipment. And I mean, come on,
dude. Fix this shitty podcast.
No, we're trying to
There
sponsor you, Paul.
There used to be a proper table here
Look.
with a bunch of band logos.
I think
Where is it?
I think what we do is we get Paul popping.
Yeah,
Paul gets big.
I like that.
Then Paul becomes our Jewish manager. We
Genius.
ride around with Paul
Genius.
as he's touring, and then yet he manages us, and we leech off Paul.
I mean, can you guys?
I like that.
Can you guys open for me?
Yeah,
Can-
Yeah.
for sure. One of us can.
I don't know.
We can
talked
try.
about this.
We
Yeah.
can both come out there.
The-
Rock paper scissors.
Joining the stage tonight
Well, the
for
longest.
your entertainment.
Two fucking retarded dudes.
Get your yarmulkes out. We're gonna pass them around for what's the collections?
Yeah. In episode 167 of the Days Grimm podcast, my first episode on here, the
You have the number memorized.
Your callback.
167. Yeah, dude, I am the number one on. I don't know what it is on Spotify.
You were 167.
I was 167. I
This
don't
is
know.
like 216, 217.
216.
Yeah, sure.
Not counting party pods and
Yeah.
comedy caches.
Yeah, 216.
But in that episode, I'm. Where's I going? With
Are we
that?
doing something big for 218 since it's 812 backwards?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we can do something like that. I like that. We gotta figure that out.
What if we sit over there, shirts inside out?
Flip them around.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we just face the opposite way the whole episode.
Oh, there you go.
What if we just
Face
did
the
a
wall.
podcast with our backs? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. No, but
fucking
Paul's like,
hilarious.
I'd watch that.
dude, I watch every episode. Like when
Dude,
you
God
see
bless you,
when
bro.
you see on a Tuesday
Hell
morning
yeah.
that like there's one view like an hour after it came out.
That's Paul.
That's me.
Cheers
because
to Paul, dude.
because at my radio station, like I've got I got all the buttons and stuff where like I can be listening to something on the computer where it's like not going out over the air.
Yeah. Oh well, fuck. I hope so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Be like, Hitler's a cunt, and it's like on your radio station. That'd be fucking. That'd be that. You don't have a job.
Yeah,
there.
no, but in that episode, which is the number one episode on your YouTube channel, I don't
Hell
know.
yeah.
I don't know what's number one on Spotify. I don't mess around with Spotify.
Yeah.
But we talked about Alan Walker at the time was doing his weekly open mic at Fidel's, and one time when he was doing his open mic at
No,
Fidel's,
it wasn't Fidel's. It was.
It started at Fidel's. He's been at if I can't tell you exactly. He's been at Fidel's. He's been at Damsel's. It's currently at Spanky's Una Cafe at 15.
Some would call him the Evansville Moses of comedy.
Yeah,
He's doing it, dude.
Spanky's Una Cafe is at 15 Jefferson Avenue in Evansville. The open mic is every Tuesday. Sign-ups at 7:30. The mic starts at 8 p.m. But at the time, he was doing his open mic at Fidel's, and I don't know what he just said. Hey, go as long as you want. And so one night at Fidel's, I did 22 minutes, which if anybody remembers the golden age of Comedy Central, I call it, like they would do like half-hour comedy specials.
Yeah,
of
but
people.
after commercials and
so
everything,
like, you take out the commercials, and it's 22 minutes of comedy. So right there, that's a 30-minute comedy special for me on Comedy Central.
we've been trying to record you, Paul.
Yeah, bruh.
I was at an open mic. Was it this? It was Wednesday. I meant to tell my parents about this, and I haven't told them yet. There was an open mic. They knew there was an open mic, and they didn't. My parents. You were at a show I did at Damsel's where my parents were there.
Oh, yeah. They were very upset.
I think Andy Russell said some stuff.
Yeah, you said. Well, I think you said something very upsetting.
What did I say? I mean,
your dad was not super proud.
He's generally not proud of me for any number of reasons.
He was proud of your podcast.
No, I did. They
the
sat at the very, very front. I do remember that. Is your dad a bald gentleman?
No, he is not. No, my dad's got a.
Is your mom a bald gentleman?
No, no. I mean, not since.
Does your mom wear a wig?
Not since it grew back from the cancer, but yeah.
Sheesh.
Oh shit.
She's fine. She's
Jesus
fine.
I just
Christ.
know that
She's
Jewish
fine.
women wear
I'm
wigs.
so sorry,
Dude, that's Orthodox.
I
and
did
that's-
not mean that.
Dude, I got an Orthodox study Bible.
Hey, suffix.
I want to see that.
Suffix.
It's interesting,
They
but
probably don't
I
have it with
do
you.
like I have the. It's not the Talmud because it's more than the first
Okay,
five
so
books.
the first 5 are the Torah. The rest of it, it's Tanakh.
Okay, then I have the Tanakh.
And Talmud, there are 2 different Talmuds.
Talmud's the way you read it, right? It's the
Talmud
pattern.
is like, here's what the Bible says. Talmud is, here's what we think it means. And it's so like, and there's 2 versions of the Talmud. There's a Babylonian Talmud and a Jerusalem Talmud. And
you can't believe the Babylonian one.
Well,
No, fuck no, dude.
And I haven't read either of them.
Could
because
you
they're, like,
imagine, dude?
they're longer. And so like the Talmuds, so like, the Tanakh came out like, that was all pre-Jesus stuff.
Right.
And the Talmuds came out like after Jesus. So it's dealing with a whole bunch of questions like, how do we be Jewish in modern society? And
It's cool to like read like Genesis 1:1 and the Orthodox one, and then you read it in the Talka or whatever. Tanakh.
Yeah.
And like it's got like different prefaces of like this Greek word could mean this, and it's like this word could have 2 different meanings in Hebrew. And you're like sitting there trying to compare.
But like in the I think it's the Babylonian Talmud, like it talks about Jesus, and it's like, that guy was a false messiah, and in the afterlife he is being boiled in excrement.
No.
Wait,
do the Jewish people really not like J-Dog?
Dude, yeah, because if he's a false messiah, if they're waiting for a messiah.
Yeah,
and
but he made that blind dude able to see.
What if he didn't, though?
But what if he did? Hey, did I ever tell you my fucking joke? Well, I'm sure somebody's told this joke before. Dude, we were talking on the podcast like months ago. This might have been over a year ago, years ago. I can't remember. Actually, no, it was months ago. It was this year or late last year. But we were talking about different jokes and stuff on a comedy cache. And I had one that I was working on, like, what if Jesus was, like, I picture my Jesus as like a really shitty carpenter. You know what I'm saying? Like he was so bad at carpentry, his boss was like, hey, bro, don't come to work tomorrow. So he's like walking all disheveled away from his job in town. And then he's like coming through the streets. And then he sees this blind guy and he's like, hold on a sec. Let me try something. You know, and that's the bit. But I'm like, I think that's funny. But
I remember that podcast, and so again, I hate to burst your bubble a second time.
Did somebody else already tell this joke?
Jim Gaffigan did that. Jim Gaffigan, like when
But you could tell jokes about the new Antichrist guy. That's like
who?
taking
Elon
over.
Musk?
No,
Donald Trump. Let's pick a name.
No, there's like a new Antichrist guy.
How am I supposed to ever feel free, like in a comedy space, like because I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, how does a comedian write a joke that's not ever been written? Because I've said this on the podcast before, only because I've heard Joe Rogan say it and I believe it.
Yeah.
Every joke has been told. Every story has been written. It's like humans have been a thing for so fucking long, over 2,000 years of recorded human history. Like, it's all been done.
Yeah.
So how do you make it different?
You got to find crazy guys like this guy.
But like, how do you make it different? Hold on, what's this?
Successor of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, the successor of the Comforter Ahmed, the successor of Simon Peter, the successor of Muhammad, the successor of Jesus Christ. I am the true and legitimate Pope. I am the proof upon the Christians. I am the son of the Muslims through my father, and the son of the Christians and the Jews through my mother. I am the son of the East through my father, and the son of the West through my mother. I am like Zulkarnain, who with one horn in the East and one in the West, and I am the inheritor of all that lies between. I am more knowledgeable than any false pope, and I am appointed by name in the will of the prophets. My name is also on the tongue of Isaiah, who prophesied of the righteous servant, and he said, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand.
Okay, look, this took a dark turn.
I think that's my cousin.
Okay, listen,
Did we
brother, hold on a second. Why? Dude, why would you...
I don't know if I
Dog, I'm on, like, I don't think you guys understand how many rabbit holes I have that I...
That's a dark fucking rabbit hole, dude.
I don't remember if I mentioned this on a podcast or not, but so my ethnic my background, it's a combination of Jewish, Catholic, and Protestant. And then probably someday I'll marry a Muslim woman, which is like hitting for the cycle when it comes to religions.
His dream lady, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, get you a Mia Khalifa?
Maybe not with her background, from what I understand about her background.
I don't know much about her background, but she is a Muslim woman.
Well, but she...
Or was.
She is a star of the adult entertainment industry, I believe.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, that like I don't want to...
She's a knockout. She's a knockout.
Paul doesn't want mileage.
Yeah,
I do not want...
Paul wants an arranged marriage. He's already learned Hebrew. Aramaic's not that much different.
Yeah, no, I get it. You want something new, showcase, low mileage, has new car smell. Right. No, I do want to go back to the Gaffigan thing, though, because I don't think anyone has ever told me that. Now, what do you know the Jim Gaffigan bit about him?
I've got a CD of his. I can't tell you the name of it. It's like it's autographed by him. I got to meet him. He was. We mentioned in the episode with Janice Barniak, he's been famous like our whole lives, basically.
100%.
But he came to Evansville how many years ago, and he was...
This is the guy that looks like he's got alopecia, right?
He's the pale guy.
Pale, yeah. Like, he was only moderately famous at the time, whereas now he's like arguably one of the top comedians in the country.
Top clean. He's arguably the best clean. Him and Nate Bargatze.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know, Billy Mays was a pretty clean...
He died of a coke overdose.
Yeah. But so like a lot of times, comics will charge for a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And this was a stage in Jim's career, free meet and greet after the show.
Fuck yeah,
And
bro.
so I had him sign my CD. And
What meat did you select?
Huh?
Was it like a deli?
Yeah, salami.
Yeah.
And you want salami?
Nice gabagool.
Salami and bacon. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't really.
I think that is a phrase.
But yeah, so I'd be interested. Now I'm gonna have to Google his fucking. Now I'm gonna have to know what it is and to see how much different.
I bet if you go to the YouTubes and type in Jim Gaffigan, Jesus Carpenter, it'll just pop up.
We can't play it, though.
Yeah,
I can play this piece of shit's fucking. He's got 181 likes, dude. Fuck.
Oh,
this
it's
guy.
bigger than that. He's huge.
He's fucking huge.
Huge.
I love it.
It's huge.
But I don't know, man. It's so that's my I don't know. I really worry about like I don't think I could ever get into comedy because like it's just everything's been done.
Yeah,
again, try it. Come up with what you think is good material. Try it once and maybe you'll
My metal joke's really funny. I like the metal joke. Yeah, I'll tell you that after the show.
Because I've seen people. I used to have access to a channel called the Circle Network. It was like a country infused channel, and they would have a weekly show. They would show like 2 hours back to back, and they would just show the same like 12 episodes over and over again. It was called Stand Up Nashville. There's Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
And they would show like 2 hours back to back on a Friday night. And a lot of the comics were great, but they were like, I remember there was this one comic in particular whose name I forget. She was some woman that short hair, blonde, whatever.
Okay.
And I'm like,
probably pretty.
I mean, middle aged. Not that middle aged women aren't pretty, but
well, fucking don't tell my wife that because she'll hit you.
Dude, she is a spring chicken. She's 29, right?
No, my wife.
Yeah, she's 29 years old.
No, she's 33.
29.
Yeah. Okay.
For the
I
fourth
know.
time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But
She is 29, actually.
but no, I'm watching like this one. Oh
This
my
is
gosh.
why I get hit, by
I'm
the
like,
way.
I'm like, this woman I'm watching on TV stinks. How she got on a legit comedy stage in Nashville, Tennessee is beyond me. But yeah,
Huh?
where was I? Was I making a broader point with that?
I think
that
you
got
were
sidetracked?
defending me and going on stage.
Oh yeah, go on. If some terrible woman can get up at Zany's Nashville and get on TV, go
Yeah.
up once and figure it out.
She also has a vagina, and I do not. And may be willing to put a penis in her mouth. Also,
You're
Well,
not?
actually, I might. I don't know. We'll find out. YTD, dude. I feel like did we have more questions for? I don't have any like pre-written down. You did send a link or two.
I sent 3 links.
Yeah. What were those links in reference to? Were they just funny things to talk about?
Well, yeah.
And then immediately Tom pulled up Yeezy's fucking Twitter as he does daily.
There's some great stuff on there.
Yeah, he really does have some pretty aggressive. So what are we looking at here?
Okay, so
Speaking of, this is a heavy religion episode, dude.
it is.
Oh fuck, dude, this is getting deep. All right, so what are we looking at here?
So we are recording this. We're recording this on Mother's Day, May 11th, 2025, and this past Thursday, May 8th, new Pope dropped.
Yeah,
And he's from Chicago, and somebody. This is
I made I texted Brian and I said, you know how some people say the Pope is like the most influential man in the world? Do
Yeah.
you think that there's some?
I need to be influenced.
Do you think there's some guy out there hitting like the refresh tab to see if they have become the most influential person until there's a new Pope? Like they're just like, am I the most influential person right now? They're hitting like Command R on their.
would that be
computer.
Joe Rogan? Or like is that what we're like?
Dude,
It's Joe Rogan, and
honestly-
then new Pope drops, and then new Pope is the.
honestly, if I had $1 for every time we talked about something that Joe Rogan talked about on this podcast, like I'd have a lot of.
Dude, there
dollars.
is sometimes where we talk about something and then a few days later it's on Rogan and
Or,
I'm like,
or that
what
will
the
happen.
fuck?
Yeah, or somebody he will have on will bring it up.
Yeah.
yeah, which really pisses me off. But like,
Like we're tapped in, but we're not tapped in.
yeah, I don't know, dude.
Dude, the new Pope is from the Middle East, Chirac.
No. Oh, middle. Okay, yeah, he's from Chicago.
yeah,
Chirac?
the
Yeah.
Middle East West, the Middle East West,
That the Middle East of the West.
Middle East of the Midwest.
And-
yeah, he is from Chicago. He is a White Sox fan. That I thought somebody told me he was a Cubs fan.
And if we mentioned this earlier on the podcast, we can cut it. Or I might have mentioned it before.
Shut the fuck up. Have you seen a lot of the memes about how he looks like Senator Palpatine off of Star Wars?
Well, so did Pope Benedict XVI. I've got a joke about that I haven't done in a while.
do you know that apparently they have one of these like fucking like this concrete monolith, I think is the term. It's like a pillar at the top.
Yeah, it's just a pillar.
They apparently at the top there are like beads that like balls, and one of them has like the ashes of Julius Caesar in it.
This is the Vatican?
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
But then it also has like something to do with like pieces of the cross Jesus was crucified on, like
yeah.
up there also. But
Well-
like, why is Julius Caesar's ashes at the top of this?
because
monolith in the-
it's like if you read it, there's a couple stories in the Old Testament where it's like, oh, the Jews had to fight somebody. They killed their enemy. They cut off his right arm and hung it up in the temple. Just be like, hey, this is our trophy. We got him.
So fucked.
And so it's kind of which.
hey, this is our string of dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many you got? Like fucking. check this out.
I got one Goliath dick.
Dude, speaking of popes, though, did you guys hear about how fucking Vice President J.D. Vance visited fucking Pope Francis?
And then he died the next day.
And then
yeah.
he fucking died like the
Yeah.
next day. Shout out to the fucking Trump administration.
Okay, this is so we're filming this on Mother's Day. I think this is like one of the greatest.
What are we getting into now? What is
This
this?
is a 3-minute video. Do you guys watch the show Bob's Burgers?
Just turn the volume down, Tom, and we can watch it as we talk.
Well, I mean, you need the volume just
Okay,
because
all
I
right.
don't know if we can
it's a
air a
skit.
whole 3-minute.
I mean,
11
we
second long
we can cut it, and we're back on the Days Grimm podcast.
Now that's where you should talk to your therapist, Tom. So, anyways, no, I think there's something there. I think he was onto something because the way clearly that was an older YouTube video.
Yeah, that's like 17 years old at this point. but-
However, very relatable to
Yeah.
today's YouTube videos. The only thing that I would critique in that video is that there wasn't and this is me being a millennial and like growing up in the YouTube age, but like he didn't have enough going on. He had a lot of silence and like a lot of inactivity. Tom, you agree? Right?
Yeah, like
so there was a lot
of added a little bit of music to play through and like maybe some sound effects
or something. Or in the silences you could have like a
let's make some shorts.
dude.
I'm
We
down.
got a whole bunch of shorts written out.
Seriously.
We'll make you famous.
Okay.
Dude, we're pimping out Paul.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Pimp
How do
My
you,
Paul.
How do you feel about fake teeth? Everybody's
I
doing
will wear-
veneers now. Everybody's doing veneers. No,
Oh, so we're not talking about like a
We're gonna-
stage type thing.
we're gonna pull all your real teeth out.
Oh no.
No?
I don't think that's.
I mean,
That's a $10,000 investment in you.
Brother, you're gonna have like fucking Donald Trump teeth.
Perfect pearly whites for the rest of your
bro,
life.
like scary white. Like you're gonna smile and people are gonna run away from you.
You guys, again, you guys got to come see me do more comedy, which at this point it's mostly open mics. I've got a joke about how I need to whiten my teeth.
Oh no, your
And,
teeth are great, dude. They're
Well, I mean,
Would you wear a monocle?
Would I? Yeah.
Are you against a monocle?
I
A
will
one
wear-
contact, one monocle?
Oh, dude.
That is hot. We get him a prescription monocle.
So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Back in, I'm in any number of groups on the Facebooks where it's like comedians, actors, whatever.
Yeah.
And a couple of them
The
are like,
IATSE?
yeah, let's get the name correct this time.
It's the IATSE.
International Association of Theater Steel Electricians or something.
The IATSE.
Theater stagehands and electricians. Steel. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but no. But so I'm in a Facebook group or a couple Facebook groups that's like local comedians and actors, and like back in February, somebody put a message in one of those groups like, "Hey, we're gonna be like filming. I think it's gonna be a short film. Like we're gonna be filming a movie here locally. We're gonna need actors, behind the scenes people, whatever."
Was it our buddy
Who?
from Atlanta?
Ryan McCurdy.
Yeah, was it Ryan?
It was not Ryan McCurdy. It's a guy named Shane Michaels. Shout out to Shane Michaels. I'll send you this podcast when it's over. Let's give a quick shout out because I was debating whether or not to talk about this before. I want to give it because in episode 167, my first episode on here,
Hell yeah, brother.
towards the end of the episode, it's like, oh, who do you want to shout out? And I said, I know I'm going to forget people. And actually, this happened since then. But we filmed a Party Pod episode. It was me and Cole Simpson, the two of you guys.
Oh, I loved that one.
And-
that was so great.
Well, but we filmed it twice because the first time we had some kind of technical difficulties. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we have to just scrap this one. We can't put it out because whatever didn't work right.
yeah.
In the one that we scrapped, I said, I want to thank Ryan McCurdy from the movie Pears because I was in that movie and it just won the People's Choice Award
Hell
at
yeah.
the Victory International Film Festival in Evansville. So I can now call myself an award-winning actor. And in between the time we taped that episode and today, you guys interviewed Ryan McCurdy.
Hell yeah,
And
brother.
I think I might have got mentioned in that episode.
Brother,
Yeah, I think we had a screenshot
we
of you.
did. We did.
Yes, you did.
But also,
And so this is not me coming late to the party saying, oh, I forgot to thank Ryan McCurdy. This is, like I thanked Ryan McCurdy, but you didn't
I
see it
want to
ahead of
know
time.
why you're not in the Steelworkers Gone stripper play. I would have gone
Full
to
Monty.
see that. Yeah.
Um,
If you were in there, little
before we jump off into some other form of conversation, dude, Ryan McCurdy, if you're watching this podcast, go back and look up Ryan's interview, episode 198.
go watch Pears.
yes, and that's
watch Paris, yes. But what I'm baffled by this. When we called him, I was like expecting like your average fucking like video call and sound and the whole thing. Bro, we called Ryan and it was the most beautiful fucking headshot. He had lighting. He had a backdrop. He had a fucking beautiful sounding microphone. I was like, bro. I was like, dude, I'll call you again. So let's do a double down. Let's do another interview with you tomorrow. It was so fucking nice. Was it not?
Yeah.
It looked so good. He's just.
And then we did 2 more virtual pods after that where you were thinking you were doing somebody in the Amazon. God bless you.
seriously.
bless you, yeah.
The couple after
so
that.
did you splice 3 together to make one episode with him, or
No,
so you
just
got
one.
2 in the can waiting to be released? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just
Brian's
saying.
talking
I
about his
wanted to do a double
gotcha.
down. I wanted to. It was just so smooth and flawless, and he's a very conversive individual, and yeah, it was just great.
And
yeah.
so when I double checked before I came here today just to make sure because I didn't want to say something that's false. When you guys interviewed Ryan, when his interview came out, Pears was not available on Tubi yet. I checked before I came here. It is now available on Tubi for free. So go to Tubi, type in Pairs,
Hell yeah.
and watch it for free and help our boy Ryan McCurdy.
No shit, dude. Such a good film. Like really, really for what he put it together with. And we talked a great length about that in his interview. Again, go back and watch it.
And until we do Pimp My Paul, it'll probably stay up there.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Wait, the Pairs episode? Wait, what do you...
Pimp My Paul.
What do you mean?
Hang on, I'm a little confused. What's going to stay up till Pimp My Paul?
I'm confused too.
It'll stay on the top of the award-winning thing from Evansville.
Oh, until we do Pimp My Paul.
Yeah.
And then that will surpass Pairs. I got you. Okay. All right.
Okay, so back to Shane Michaels real quick. So, yeah, sorry. Again, Shane Michaels, thanks for watching this podcast. So he puts out a thing in one of these Facebook Evansville groups saying, hey, we're going to be filming a movie. And so I was like, hey, like...
Does this involve a black couch? And they said no. And you're like, I
yeah.
guess I'm still down.
Yeah.
But
And so
Whatever.
I was like, hey, I want to read for... I said, I'll do any number of roles you... And I said, I'll also do behind the scenes, whatever. And he said, okay, I sent you, a script. Just film yourself. And that was back in like April. He sent me the script. And then finally yesterday, I got around to like recording myself doing the script and sent it to him. And here, I'm going to pull it up on my phone because I don't want to misquote him. This break in the action brought to you by Old Forester Statesman. It's 95 proof. Old Forester, a proud sponsor of the Days Grimm podcast.
that is also not true, but goddamn, I wish it was.
You got to do knockoff stuff. Like instead of blue chew, we do like red chew.
Red chew.
For
Yeah.
when you need to get soft.
When you need to
Quick.
be soft in a hurry. Like when you have an accidental boner, pop a red chew.
Right.
Yeah.
I just saw a meme somebody posted. It said, whenever I go out to a bar and meet a girl, I put a Viagra in her drink. That way I don't, like if she's trying to fool me, I don't get fooled. Okay, so I sent Shane Michaels the video of me filming myself for this movie.
What did Shane say? I gotta
Shane
know.
said, I'll send it over to the director. I like it a lot. So, hopefully this will be me somehow getting cast in a legitimate short film in the near future.
Other
like
than
that.
Pairs, also a legitimate short film.
Also, no, that is a feature-length film because generally...
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
It is a
It was an
feature.
hour and a half, yeah.
I think it was an hour 13 according to Tubi. I think the general guidelines are if it's under an hour, it's considered a short film. If it's over an hour, it's a feature film.
Quote, feature length.
Which, again, so I don't know if we talked about this on a previous podcast or not, but every year, I think we did mention the Victory International Film Festival maybe in one of the... That might have been the one that we had to scrap.
Yeah.
So every year in September, there is a film festival here in Evansville called the Victory International Film Festival. I volunteer at it every year. It's great.
How much stuff do you volunteer at, Paul? You are everywhere.
I try to do...
I wanted to mention that in the beginning of the podcast.
You would think Paul was a Jehovah's Witness as much
You
as
are
he's
on
everywhere.
everyone's doorstep, dude.
I should go knock on a bunch of doors. Can I talk to you about Jesus today, please?
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior?
I'll just knock on a door. Oh, can I talk to you about Jesus? Oh, you're Jewish. Can I talk to you about Moses? Oh, you're Muslim. Can I talk to you about Allah?
Shabbat shalom.
So the
Change your name to Saul.
Yeah.
Go backwards.
So the Victory International Film Festival happens every year, and I texted both of you guys. I was like, you guys need to come out to this.
Right.
And you
Brian
guys,
showed up. I didn't.
You guys are busy. Well, you came to the after. It's a 3-day event. It's a Thursday night.
Paul,
Friday
don't
night.
diminish my efforts.
Well,
I
hang
still
on.
fucking showed up.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
This
So
guy did not.
That's true.
So you
it's-
killed Jesus 3 days later.
So it's a Thursday night, Friday night, and then kind of like noon to nighttime.
Yeah, you
it's
movie
like
people in your rituals.
It's
I've
like
heard.
it's an all day sort of thing on Saturday.
Did you get a bag of silver for this too?
No,
or-
no.
Okay.
Are you a
it's only-
Freemason,
It was
Paul?
I am not a Freemason.
Dude,
and
this
so
is going
you,
off the rails. I'm listening.
You
I'm
came to the after party
I did.
on Saturday night
at Arcadia.
Yes,
or
Arcademy, and you need
Academia
to
or
Arcademy.
Arcademia.
And that's owned by a guy named Carl. You need to get him on the podcast. He'd be a good
I'm
one.
trying, dude. I'm talking. I'm talking to people.
And so you show up at
Mm-hmm.
this after party, and I'm just pointing out 100 different people. That's Ted. He's a film buff. You need to get him on the podcast. That's Jacob. He won
Yep.
a bunch of awards tonight. You need to get him on the podcast. That's Emily. She won an award tonight.
Did
You
I
need to
tell
get her
you
on the podcast.
one of the guys you fucking I don't honestly remember their name because we didn't like connect.
Yeah.
But we did converse for a moment.
Was it a music guy? Maybe.
Don't.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
go.
I think they were musically inclined, but I think they were predominantly into film. They rubbed their mustache on me, dude.
That okay? I can't see Jacob doing that. Jacob's
Let's
got
not
mustache
drop their
and-
name, but their
See,
mustache
if I
was-
go to an event, I'm gonna need a black folder with everybody's like profile breakdown.
yeah,
what they
like
do.
who are
I need
you? What have you
pictures,
done? Yeah, he is more of a picture learner.
Are you like an autistic guy? Like you got to know exactly who's
Yeah,
there.
dog. I normally don't open to anybody for like 45 minutes. I'm like a cuck in a corner.
Yeah, he's not like an autistic
Dude,
guy.
you need
He
to-
is an autistic guy.
You need to do a stand-up special. It's going to be called "Cuck in the Corner."
That is an amazing stand-up special name.
Maybe.
Copyrighted by the Days Grimm.
I just have Paul go up on stage and tell jokes, and I just interrupt with like one liner or like whatever
Yeah.
in the middle of his set.
But you're in a chair in
the corner.
but barely lit. You're
Yeah.
somewhat lit, but barely.
Everybody's like, "What the fuck is this guy?"
And
doing
your hands
back
in your
there?"
pants.
I'm the host, and I'm hosting from the back.
Hand in your pants.
Cuck in the corner. My hands normally always in my pants.
That's fucking hot, dude. That's a genius idea. That's a $20,000 idea right there. No, I don't know, man. That's crazy. But yeah, the VIP party was super dope. I'm really glad that you invited me to that.
What if they did a restaurant like the opposite of like Dick's Last Resort or like Karen's, and they treat you like crazy good when you walk in? Like you walk in.
You
they,
mean how
like,
normal restaurants are
no,
supposed
like,
to go?
They like carry you to your seat and everything. Like bring you a chair, and they got like 4 dudes that like carry
That'd be
you to
kind of
your
awesome.
seat.
Like a Jewish wedding?
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like a bar mitzvah.
some poor person comes out and like washes your feet for you. You know. and
You
you're
mean
about to-
poor
Jesus?
guy.
You mean Jesus of Nazareth, our Lord and Savior?
Yeah. You mean that guy?
Jesus of Peru? Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking really shitty carpenter. God, I'm so mad that's a joke already.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim Gaffigan.
I was so proud of that concept, too. It's just so funny.
There are plenty of jokes.
I know, but
yeah,
I'm not
out
smart
there.
like you guys. God damn it. I'm
You
so
guys,
mad.
You people.
Let me tell you my metal joke after this.
Okay.
I do not want to forget to tell you it.
Metal music or
Yeah,
metal like
I'm so proud of it.
Do you get down on metal, Paul?
I mean, I like a
We've
lot
never
of Metallica.
talked about that. We've never talked about what kind of
hang
music. What kind of music do you get into, like on the reg? What's
Did
your
we-
What's your Reggie?
Did we say this on the pod? We've been at this for a while. Did we say this before the podcast started or after the podcast started? Where my feelings on music are, if you weren't already famous,
Before we said it before.
Okay, so my maybe unpopular
Beatles, yeah.
opinion. So the Beatles broke up in 1970. If you weren't already famous by
Thanks
that
a lot,
point,
Yoko Ono.
yeah, if you weren't already famous by that point, you have to fill out paperwork to make music. And so then, like, yeah, Metallica gets in, but then like a certain Canadian rock band will not get in. Dude, it's gonna shoot.
Don't even fucking mention.
I
that
will.
name.
I will. I can't go through my phone and scroll through like 100 pages of
But
memes.
what are your like legitimately no jokes, like what are some of the music, what's some of the music that you like legitimately enjoy, like what's a genre that is like your go-to genre?
rock, You know,
Rock?
like
Do
classic
you have a
rock.
decade?
I mean, so again, like the Beatles are the benchmark, and like even people. Okay, you're into metal. People say "Helter Skelter" by the Beatles was the first heavy metal song.
No, they're full of shit, but it was
Okay,
it was a
so
banger.
in your opinion, then what is the first heavy metal song?
First heavy metal song, because you get pretty close in the 70s with like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It gets heavier from there. I don't know. I would probably get it wrong, but it would be somebody in the late 70s, and I bet it would be like. Can you just Google it? Because I don't want to be wrong. It's somebody in the late 70s. It's definitely in the 80s. They were playing. 80s is when metal took off. So somebody in the 70s did it first. But like, first metal bands, yeah, Deep Purple. Yeah, see, they're saying Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. Yeah,
Okay,
Black
yeah, well,
Sabbath.
yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, before it was Black Sabbath is right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then also, really close to that is White Zombie. White Zombie was like 85.
The thing that always sticks out in my mind, if I'm getting the date right, in 1991, the Grammys came up with a heavy metal category, and it was
rightfully
like,
fucking so.
well, and it was like,
15 years later,
and it was supposed to be like, so we can finally give Metallica a Grammy, and that was that right? I think it was 91. Was 91 when the Black Album came out? Around then, probably. With like Enter Sandman and Master of Puppets. Or was Master of Puppets the name of the album?
Master of Puppets was an album. Black was also an album. Black was before Master of Puppets.
And that had Enter Sandman on it, maybe? Is that... we could Google it.
I'm not
but-
the biggest Metallica fan. I know
See,
that sounds shitty.
Dude, okay, because I mean, like, I will jam out to Enter Sandman, And they did a cover of Bob Seger. The first time, so Bob Seger had a song, "Turn the Page."
Yeah, they did turn the page.
They did, and I heard Metallica's
So good.
version. I heard Metallica's version before I heard Bob Seger's version, and they're both phenomenal. And the fun
You
thing
almost like Metallica's version better.
the fun thing is, like, when I heard Metallica's version, it was on a college radio station, and I don't know if they were doing it on purpose or if there was just a glitch in the system, but it played for like 6 hours straight, so you couldn't tell where it ended and started up again.
It's like
and just,
Purple Rain.
And the same thing happened at the same station with like a Dave Matthews song a couple years later, where they just played it for like 6 straight hours.
Ants marching.
No,
fucking...
it was Where Are You Going from the. It was
that's
Adam
a short
Sandler
song.
movie.
Yeah. Where are you going?
So, Paul, do you think 100 people could beat a gorilla?
We talked about
Here,
this.
okay, so that's the big thing on the
listen
interwebs
to
now.
last week's episode and
With the whips or the hips.
so last
we're going. We're
this
time
is in
jumping
the future.
here.
Yeah, this is in the future. So you're going to hear this episode, and likely you've already listened to the week before's episode with it was with Cole and Asa Cox.
Cole Simpson.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I don't know Asa Cox. but
we talked in great length about we even pulled up like Chat GPT. We were doing like step-by-step analysis. I mean, it was a good like 15 minutes of the podcast of just like analyzing like could me and 99 other men kill a gorilla?
And so here's the question.
What are your thoughts?
Are we attacking at the same time, or is it one-on-one? And you just gotta
You are. I think we boiled it down to you are in an arena and you have 100 people versus this gorilla,
and you can strategize accordingly. The gorilla has he or she rather. I don't know, and that's another thing.
I feel like
sex
it's offensive.
of the gorilla we've never
like
considered.
I feel like it's offensive to beat up a female gorilla.
Why?
Just
equal
basic,
rights,
basic,
dude.
yeah. Comment like chivalry.
Yeah, but here's my point though. Which is more aggressive, a male or a
Probably
female gorilla?
Did the female
assume.
Did the female just give birth? Because if she just gave birth, then it's like I have to protect my kids.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
boom.
but then if she has to protect her kids, she's not leaving the door where they let her out, so she's confined to like one area.
I don't know. That was one thing that literally just popped out of my mouth now that I'm just now thinking about, like sex of the gorilla. We haven't even talked about it. Everyone assumes it would be a male, but let's say it's the more aggressive of the two and it's a male. What are your thoughts on an arena style, 100 humans on one end of the arena and a male or whichever more aggressive silverback gorilla is on the other end of the arena, and you and the other 99 of you have to strategize and kill this gorilla. No weapons, likely you're nude.
You're nude.
Well, the gorilla's nude.
I am hopeful that 100 grown men can overcome a gorilla because we have like a
brain.
We can reason.
Communication.
We have communication, and I am confident that 100 men could take a gorilla.
I'll tell you what, though, one thing that I have experience in is when the shit hits the fan and shit gets violent and shit gets loud and things start going crazy. Communication. No, your normal human communication baseline is like here, and then when violence happens, it dips a little bit. But when things get ultra chaotic and humans around you start dying, communication will fucking drop, bro. So like there is gonna be a point in time at some point where that communication is gonna drop so low that you and the gorilla are gonna be at baseline with one another, where their communication is shit and so is yours, because you're just it's like an animalistic. Like it's a very muscle on muscle, and there's 99 of you and one of him.
And so here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping one of these 100 men is Steve Irwin's son, who has some knowledge.
Yeah, it's like
on
Jane.
the subject.
It's like Jane, and she starts
that's
silently.
Genius.
Yeah.
Just sign
He's
the
like-
gorilla to sleep and then fucking choke it out.
Like he's the Michael Jordan of the event, basically, and we're all trying to be our Scottie Pippens and Horace Grants and Dennis Rodmans.
Yeah, dude. Dennis Rodman's. Yeah, dude.
I guess I'll be Bill Wennington and get 2 points in the paint towards the end of the fourth quarter.
Just elbowing people. No, dude. Yeah, I think so. Do you think the humans stand a chance?
Yeah, I am confident in our fellow man that 100 men can beat up a gorilla.
I'm still on the gorillas team, dude. And Tom's on your side for this, but like I really do. Gorillas are bad motherfuckers.
What was that other one we used to ask people? 100 horse-sized
Dogs are like one dog.
No. It was 100 duck-sized horses
Yeah.
or 1 horse-sized duck.
Which would you rather fight?
I'm going a horse-sized duck because then
100 horse-sized ducks?
well,
No, it's
Duck
1
size.
horse-sized duck.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 1 horse-sized duck, so a massive duck, or 100 duck-sized horses. Which would you rather fight?
I mean,
The 100 horses that are the size of a duck, or the 1 duck that's the size of a horse?
I'm going 1 duck the size of a horse just because that's so much. Here's the thing. I'm thinking from a standpoint of like,
Yo, ducks have teeth, bro.
here's what I'm thinking though.
Imagine the teeth on a fucking horse-sized
Imagine the
duck.
corkscrew-sized dick
You're
on that thing.
getting R-worded by a corkscrew dick, for sure.
Here's what I'm thinking though. Like, I want to eat the duck afterwards, and that's more meat for me to enjoy.
If you make it, that's a big if, homie. You're dying.
And I bet the 100 horses would be like veal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like a nice veal, and then there's 100 of them. It's like
Yeah, and like,
if you're
I mean,
if you're
you
a
can't-
fisherman, it's like fishing for bluegill. You
It's
got to
like-
catch 20
It
of
is
them.
illegal to eat horse, though, in the United States.
Not in Russia, so you kill them
Well, I
here.
mean, not at that one Mexican restaurant here in town.
You guys again, we're recording this May 11th, and within the last week or two, so early May, late April, you guys came out with an episode where what were you? Oh, no, I'm not going to talk about that. I was about to say, it's legal to eat a certain kind of meat in one area, and then I realized, it's not about eating meat; it's
No, it's
performing
fucking animals,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's bleep that.
West Virginia has since
let's
changed
bleep
their.
that.
I don't think he wants to talk
They
about.
changed their
Yeah.
wording on it.
Let's bleep that for this episode.
When did they change the wording on?
Remember, we looked it up a few weeks later, and they changed the wording. To
Oh,
add that,
yeah,
like,
but
it
it's
could
still
be-
intercourse.
Yeah, it's
for
still
sure.
gray area.
Yeah, it's still
If
very.
you feed the dog a nice meal beforehand,
What is it? West Virginia?
yeah,
Yeah, shout out to West Virginians, you fucking psychopaths.
yeah. If you serenade them,
And marinate them.
well, I think if you serenade them, you can marinate them.
And then you can eat it.
I
So,
don't think depending on the animal.
yeah, if it's a horse, shit out of luck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You haven't been in for a while though.
Yeah, I was
do you,
looking
do you
at
have
the
any
last-
questions for us or like anything popping off in your brain since you've seen us?
I mean, I already so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we were talking about, we ran into each other last
At
weekend.
an event.
I say,
Yeah,
ran
we
in-
shot an event.
Okay, like we all knew we were going to be there, so it's not
Yeah.
like, I know those guys were going to be there because
Yeah.
I knew you guys were going to be there.
and
Filming.
also, you're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
So if there's something happening in Evansville, Paul Bragin's there.
Right.
Just-
We were at Cigar beforehand. And I was like, I wonder if Paul's just
Today?
going to randomly walk in. No.
were you there
No,
fucking today?
dude? If you guys ever want to meet at Cigar, text me. I'm there. Like if you want me, I will smoke with you guys.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. No, but you really are everywhere. But yeah, anyways, you were saying, sorry, we cut you. Tom cut you off.
Well, I don't know where I was going, but when we brought up Cigar, do you know David Wells, the owner?
No, is that the bald gentleman?
I don't think he's got. Last I saw him, I run into him occasionally. He's got some facial hair. Get him on the podcast.
I want to. I want to shoot a podcast there.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
Thank you. And Tom's on board, I think.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, you let's
I'm so on
put us
Dude,
board.
put us in
You
contact.
could call me a
Oh.
pirate.
No, but do you have questions for us since you've seen us in the last? I don't know. It's been a couple months since you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I was looking on because I was.
it's
trying to
been a
think,
month
like-
or two. Yeah.
Oh well, no. According to my phone, the last podcast I was on, it was.
Do you have
it
like
was,
a
it was Cole
sobriety app?
Simpson.
It's been like 80 days since
Yeah.
I was on the Days
No,
Grimm.
like,
You'll go home and hit I relapse.
The episode, yeah, the episode I did with Cole Simpson that
Yeah.
actually made it to air came out like in December, and we're recording this in May. So like we
Oh,
ran into
damn.
each other last
I'm
weekend.
so on board you
at a
could say I'm
thing.
from Skid Row. Does that
Jesus
work?
Christ.
But
Or
yeah,
would I
it's-
say underneath the bridge? I'm so on board you could say I'm under the bridge.
Is that a Red Hot Chili Peppers reference?
No, it's like
Under the Bridge is.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
a cardboard reference.
Oh,
Under the bridge.
cardboard.
Skid Row would
so
be like
on
a
board?
skid reference because
Yeah.
it's on board.
yeah.
God, I was with you with Red Hot Chili Peppers. I
Yeah.
didn't know where the fuck you were.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So questions for us or anything that you want to bring up or
I do, so again in episode 167 when I first made my appearance at the end of the episode it's like who do you want to give a shout out to and I said I'm probably going to forget people so we already mentioned Ryan McCurdy. Ryan, thanks for putting me in pairs.
that dude is sick.
Shane Michaels, please let me do something on your film.
Shout out your future wife.
Shout out my future wife, whoever you are. Who knows? There might be somebody.
Hashtag Mia Khalifa.
Again, too much mileage.
But also, if Mia Khalifa watches this podcast, I'll literally sell my house and move into the woods.
Yo, Mia, what up? Let me holler at you, girl.
I swear to God, dude. Like, hand to God, I would sell this house and just move into the woods.
I got to give a shout out to somebody. So I mentioned the guy who kind of really got me into comedy at first was Josh Turley. Yeah. And what Josh Turley would do, like, he'd say, hey, come to my show, like, help me take tickets. You know, I'll buy you a beer. I'll pay you $10. I'll maybe give you 5 minutes of stage time, whatever. And, you know, some combination of all that. The first guy to ever contact me and say, hey, like, I got a show coming up in a month. I want you to open on purpose. You know, his name...
Has it happened before on accident?
What's that?
So has it happened before on accident?
Oh, no.
He said on purpose.
On purpose,
I'm like, damn, dog.
No,
Paul got a text, hey, I need you to open. Sorry, wrong person.
My bad. Wrong dude.
No,
Sorry.
but the guy...
Wrong Paul.
The guy's name is Jamie Utley, and sadly, he passed away about 3 months ago.
Rip,
and
Rip.
Okay, do you know Pat Coslett?
Yeah, the furniture guy.
Yeah, he does comedy shows in his furniture store.
Well, he's since stopped.
They've
thinned out.
He's scaling back.
Yeah,
I think he's wanting to get it going again. It's just, you know, with scheduling and stuff, and he packs people in, so there might be some issues. You know, you don't want to see a COVID outbreak. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like, poor jokes, memory foam mattresses. You don't want it to stick with the customer.
Yeah.
But
checks out. Yeah,
but no, Jamie Utley. Jamie Utley had me open one of his shows at Pat Coslett's furniture store. I can't tell you the exact year, but I remember the date was June 18th, which is Paul McCartney's birthday, and so I made a Paul McCartney
Why
joke.
do you know so much about the Beatles? It is alarming.
Dude, I want Paul McCartney to be my real dad, which is
alarming.
Not gonna happen.
That is alarming, and also I'm so sorry to your father.
Yeah, no, but
Mr. Bragin. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but Jamie Utley paid me $25 to do 5 minutes at Pat Coslett's. And then, again, he died in February of this year. Jamie did. And he did a show at Pat's sometime, let's say last year. And I went, he said, hey, man, the next time I'm here, like, I'll have you open for me and I'll pay you again. Okay, cool. And then he has since died. And that makes me think of a bit that Kevin Hart did in his stand-up where he talked about how his mom died, and people would get up and give eulogies at the funeral service.
Right.
And like one of his cousins or uncles gets up, and apparently Kevin's mom was named Nancy, and somebody in the family gets up and says, now, before Nancy died, she owed me $53 and some change. So Kevin, does that fall to you, or how does this work? And so I want to politely go to Pat Costlett and be like, hey, you know, Jamie said I could be on one of his shows here, and he's died. So like, how we handle this? Yeah, like can I get back on stage?
How does that work?
Dude, Lexi was like, oh,
can I get $40?
Lexi goes, I started watching this new movie, right? And it's like about this daughter, and like every time like the daughter's like, can I have that snow globe? And they're like, oh, when I pass away, you can have the snow globe. So then like the daughter finds a way to kill the person.
Yeah.
And then like as soon as they're like wheeling this person out, she's like, hey, they said I could have that snow globe.
Is this a
Can I have
true
that snow
crime
globe?
thing or what?
So then it happens several times, and Lexi's like, yeah, like here, and puts it on. It's like in black and white. And I was like, I thought you said this was a new movie. And she's like, no, I found a new movie that I started watching. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, new movie.
Bless
So
you.
Paul, you don't play any games? No time?
No, dude, I'm working 2 jobs and I go home and like watch Jeopardy and maybe 1 or 2 other shows. Oh, let's cross our fingers. I mean, I try.
Are you going on Jeopardy?
Dude, as of now, no.
Do you want to start fake suing each other for Judge Judy and stuff?
No, because
You
that's...
seen those where people are doing that?
That's genius.
Yeah.
No, so every year I audition for... And I talk about Jeopardy in my stand-up act.
Oh, you're going to go on Survivor or Lost?
Naked and Afraid.
I mean...
Dude, let's on Pimp My Paul. Let's start entering him in as many game shows as we can
I mean...
for a year.
I want Jeopardy. So, like, in a perfect world, I go on Jeopardy, and every once in a while you'll see somebody on Jeopardy. Like, they
What about
just
The
keep
Price
winning.
is Right?
See, that's a one-day thing. And Jeopardy, if you're lucky, you hit a streak, and you're on for like a solid month.
Would you
win
be
$1
on that
million
new
bucks.
game show bullshit?
I think I've seen an ad. Is that on Fox? I need to...
I don't know what it's on.
Wait, what's it called?
Bullshit.
It's an actual show.
Yeah, it's got Howie Mandel as the host.
that is sounding a little familiar.
Okay.
And I need to talk to you guys after the podcast because I want to get on America's Got Talent. And
We got
you
you.
guys might be able to help with that. I meant to bring something up before we started.
I got
recording.
a guy, and by a guy, I mean a girl who lives in, wait for it, stand by, stop looking at me like that, trim your mustache.
Should I close my eyes?
Nashville. She lives in Nashville.
Kenna Elpers
Yep, that's the one. She's got connects.
with America's Got Talent.
She knows people. She knows people. Or maybe it wasn't America's Got Talent. Maybe it was.
I don't know, but still.
Stand
Pimp My
by.
Paul.
Yeah, Pimp My Paul. We get you stud from toes to fucking.
What is wrong with what I'm wearing? This is
Nothing.
a fine outfit.
You need loafers with no socks.
Yeah, you need to go no socks. Your pants need to be shorter.
You
They
need
to
some
be-
sort of watch and a tennis bracelet.
Also, your pants need to be tighter. I need to see more bulge, and your shirt needs to be a little more form fitting.
Yeah.
Less green. Less green.
I think the
shout
green
out,
works.
Shout out to your family who got that shirt. That's
Yes,
dope.
This
but
was
also
this was a birthday present. Thanks, fam.
could have been a bottle of bourbon, but here we are. No, I'm joking.
Oh, I really
Please
can't
let
show
them see this episode.
Dude, no, no, they're not seeing this one.
I'm just teasing. No, man, I think we pimp you out, and then people are going to be paying us to send you places, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Seriously. But yeah, man, do you have any questions for us or last minute anything? You know what I mean?
Let's get another plug in.
I gave
for,
Paul a back rub and he thought I was you.
That's hot.
Well, and I thought these are strong. These are strong hands that have been to Afghanistan and maybe killed somebody, maybe done something inappropriate with a camel, which I don't get those vibes from Tom.
Gotcha.
He's definitely fucked a camel. I have not. You've been to West Virginia a couple of times, dude. I've never been.
I don't think I've ever been to that side of the country.
No, let's get a quick plug in for again. Alan Walker has his weekly open mic right
Spanky's,
now.
Jefferson.
Yes, Spanky's Una Cafe, 15 Jefferson Avenue. Sign-ups are at 7:30. The event starts at 8 p.m. This again, we're filming this a month before it comes out, but when we're filming this past week, he did his weekly show at Spanky's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, he did an open mic show at Industry Bar.
Oh, I like that. I did see that on Facebook. I don't know what that
Paul
is.
sent us it.
Yeah.
I tried to send you guys.
Paul keeps us in the loop.
And so this past Wednesday, if you guys, did we mention Patsy Hardigan's Irish Pub?
We did not.
Okay, so that's a relatively new-ish
I'm
establishment.
glad Patsy can get Hardigan.
Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Blue Chew.
So, so every
Podcast brought to you by Red Chew.
Yeah. So every Wednesday, Patsy Hardigan's does like live Irish music from about 6 to about 8.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And so I knew I was getting off work at job number 2 at about 6, knowing I'm going to get to Patsy's about 6:15.
Yeah.
And then after that's over, I'm going to go over to the Industry Bar for the open mic. And so as I'm about to walk into Patsy's, it's right next to the Peephole on Main Street.
Yeah. I love
And-
people.
And as I'm walking by the Peephole, I hear this voice say, Paul Bragin. And I look, and it's the older brother of a guy I went to school with from first grade all the way through high school. I was like, man, and the guy lives in Nashville now. I was like, how long are you in town? He said, just today. I said, look, come with me to Patsy's for live music. He said, well, we're going to Tironi's after this. I said, okay, when you're done at Tironi's, go to Industry Bar over here for an open mic show. And he's like, I don't know if we'll be able to make it. I was like, dude, come. And so he and his friends all came.
Hell yeah.
And it was a good crowd. And friend of the show, Pete Dayton, was also at this comedy show.
Shout out to Pete.
And I was like, and Pete normally, it's with me, it's hit or miss as to whether or not I film myself. Because normally what I'll do is like, Pete has like a tripod and stuff.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll just pull out my phone and like set it on the table where like you can't even see my face or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like your tits and your wiener.
Yes, I do.
Just the
I do
bulge.
perform.
Tits to bulge.
I
It's
do.
on his OnlyFans.
Yeah, I do perform in the nude. I was like, hey,
I do perform in the nude.
and so for whatever reason, I was like, hey, Pete, can you film me tonight? And he said, yeah, sure. And so I get off stage, and this my friend's older brother, after I got, he was like, man, you were good. I was like, thanks, I appreciate that. Meanwhile, today is Mother's Day, and we got together with family, and of course, my brother had to make a joke. How about I'm not funny?
Nice.
I think they're funny, Paul.
Thank
I
you.
think you're fucking hilarious. dude.
You know what? I'm gonna dump my brother, and you guys are my brothers now.
Yeah. Dude, I texted Paul and I was like, you need to start coming over and hanging out more.
Yeah, dude, for real. I'm always free.
let me know
just,
when.
Just hit me up. No, if you're ever bored, just come by, have a beer. We'll bullshit. Fuck.
Or hey, let's meet at Cigar.
Dude, bro, I'm so down with that. I love that spot.
We'd
now.
have to hit up Cole. Cole's got cigars.
Oh, bro, yeah. Cole won't let us go
So again, how did
to Cigar anymore. He said, you're not allowed to go here anymore. I have
He
a
didn't say
humidor.
anymore. He said until we burn down his stash. He's got a subscription and he keeps getting them.
He has a humidor with like plus cigars in it.
nice?
Cole has
See, I have a humidor
maybe I
with-
edit his name out so he doesn't get robbed.
Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
a good idea.
But like, no, seriously, he was like, yeah.
See, I have a humidor with like 6 cigars in it, and I smoke one like every couple months.
He's got
and it's
a boatload. But he was like, yeah, you get just let me know. Come on down.
I need to call over to
what we
David
should
Wells,
do.
the owner of Cigar, and be like, "Hey, man, how upset are you going to be if I come in with my own cigar just so I can get my stash down?" And then like, what? Like, I need to talk to because like we're not like best friends, but we know each other. He's a musician.
Oh, nice.
And we played his stuff on the late great WUEV radio.
Okay.
Which was
Rest in peace.
that was my introduction to David Wells, and then I find out he owns Cigar.
Paul, what would it take to make a radio station?
Oh, a bunch of money that we don't have.
Gotcha.
But what if it's a radio station that you swear on?
Oh, see, okay, so I kind of want to go
Can
back.
we just air the episodes of the Days Grimm 1 through current date in nonstop repeat?
Sequential.
I don't know if we played we played that Mother's Day video. I feel like we didn't do justice to the other 2 videos I sent.
Oh, the Pope?
Yeah, and
With,
so here's
metal music?
So, you say metal. One of them, it was the Chicago Bulls walk-up music.
Gotcha.
Was the background music. And the other one, if you, like, I don't know if we played, like, edit this out maybe. It was Freebird playing in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very classy.
And so what I want to do, I'm gonna have to email some people, and this is probably not gonna happen. Like, I know the Vatican's got like a communications office, like a radio station, whatever else. Like, I need to get a job in the Vatican communications office and just move to Rome and eat pasta every day.
You think you would like that?
And maybe marry a nice Italian girl.
Okay, so
I think I would fucking love that.
gotcha.
Yeah. So everybody, let me get a
So
job at
you
Vatican
want,
Radio.
You want a Islamic Italian?
Well, if we're picking, I'm gonna go Italian because they can eat more food.
I
mean, in terms of like, you can eat all the pork you want.
Hear me
as
out.
an
Hear me
Italian.
out. Hear me out. I think Mia Khalifa's Italian.
I don't think so.
I think she just likes
Also-
sausage.
Also,
Oh no, yeah, we'll edit that. out.
yeah.
Edit out. Here we go. It'll be good. We'll get it taken care of. No, but shout out to the Cardinals and the Bishops, man, dude. Y'all picked a real one. Shout out to the U.S. for getting a POPE up in office, dude. I never thought I'd live to see the day.
That was the thing.
I
like,
honest
you
to
and
God, I didn't
you
think
and
I would
well,
see
like,
the
both
day.
went- Did you go to Catholic? You said you were raised Catholic. Did you go to Catholic school?
No. I just attended mass.
Okay, so I went to Catholic school, and I remember one of the religion teachers saying, like, "Oh yeah, like we're not going to have an American pope."
You call her
Ever.
up and say, "Guess what, bitch?
Yeah, and so I happened to be.
Better take your ass to confession."
Like,
my mom.
I happened.
Liar, pants on fire.
I
Let
happened.
me get the ruler out, bitch.
slap her on the knuckles, dude.
I happened to be in a church like the day they announced the new pope.
Yeah.
And
They
the,
just
and the,
stood up.
no, seriously, like the priest.
What if you did?
The priest.
You're like in mass and you're like, ah!
So the priest gets up for his homily. This is like
A homily.
This is like 6 hours after they name the new pope, right?
How many times have you stood up and sat down at this point?
2-3 times.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's usually 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, you're not Catholic. Okay, so
No.
yeah, Catholics like you're up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
So the priest starts his homily. He gets up and he goes. Legitimately, the start to his homily was USA. USA.
No, did he really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yo, that dude's a real one for that.
Dude,
a real one.
If you shoot, this priest is a homebody, so you're probably not going to get him on the podcast.
I love a good priest,
But
dude.
I mean, like, would you?
We would
You guys would have to-
We try to clean it up.
You guys would have to be super G-rated if you get a priest on this podcast.
No, he'll let some shit slide.
I don't know.
Like, literally, he'll let some shit, like the word shit. He'll let shit slide.
Yeah.
But don't go popping off with your J language.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
That would-
J language.
Actually, he might let that slide, too.
No,
I don't know. There's really no
I
telling.
think as a Catholic, they prefer like Greek.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But dude, all right, we're coming up on 2 hours. Dude. We got
to go very Roman. With
we got to put a bow on this, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so how do we put a bow on this? We didn't do a death of the week. You let me down on that.
You want to end it with the death of the week?
Well, we could. Do we go back and splice it in at like the 15-minute
At
mark?
the very end.
Do you just want to do it live?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got?
You ready?
You got one pulled up?
Yeah. Sure do.
Well, if you do the honors.
The death of the week.
Hello. Turn it down in the headphones a little bit, Chief. This week's Death of the Week brought to you by apnews.com. And I'll tell you what, this is a good one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a hell of a way to end the podcast. We've been talking all religion, left and right. Freaking Paul's Jewish boner is through the roof. Here we go. This week's Death of the Week, again, brought to you by apnews.com. A rabbi serving 30 years to life in his wife's contract killing has died, prison officials say. That is a very confusing statement. Let's get some zoom action here. Here we go. So moving forward. So this is per Trenton, New Jersey AP, Alternative Press. The New Jersey rabbi serving a decades-long sentence in 1994 murder for hire plot targeting his wife has died. Age 82, was pronounced dead shortly after 6 p.m. Wednesday at a hospital in Trenton after he was found unresponsive in his cell in the New Jersey State Prison Infirmary, news outlets reported, citing the State Department of Corrections. A cause of death wasn't immediately released. Was listed on the New Jersey Corrections inmate locator Saturday as, quote, deceased, end quote. Founding rabbi of the congregation, hold on, don't shut up. Let Paul do this one. What's the Imkor?
Congregation Makor Shalom Synagogue in Cherry Hill.
Which merged.
You should just have Paul read this.
Which merged 2 years later. There's not a lot of Jewish stuff.
Yeah, but he's a radio guy.
That's true. We should start having you read our Death of the Week, which merged 2 years ago with the nearby Temple Emmanuel. He was sentenced to 30 years to life in January 2003 after he was convicted by a jury of having hired 2 men to kill his wife. An earlier trial ended with a hung jury. Age 52, a mother of 3, was beaten to death in her Cherry Hill home in November 1994. Prosecutors alleged that the hitmen received $30,000 for the kill and were told to make it look like a robbery that turned violent. Prosecutors alleged that arranged the slaying in order to continue an affair with another woman. They maintained that 2 men acted on their own and were motivated by robbery. Both were released from prison after serving 23-year terms. Is that all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty much all of it. So shout out to the Jewish community. No, I'm joking. No, but this dude's a turd. Yeah, this dude's a turd for sure. So he was having an affair. And then hired 2 homeboys and was like, hey, go kill my wife so I can keep sleeping with Mia Khalifa. Likely. Not guaranteed, but likely. Allegedly. Again, it was a hung jury.
Big dicks.
But then he... huge cocks. Fucking Mandingo party. No, but then he says to these 2 guys, make it look like a robbery.
Here's $30K.
But murder this
$15K
bitch.
a pop.
So how does he... They didn't even clarify how he died. But, honestly, I'm willing to celebrate that. That's worth celebrating. Fuck that guy for sure. So, fuck that rabbi. I'm glad he's dead.
This is what we call a shanda for the goyim.
What does that mean?
And that is I think it's a Yiddish phrase.
Is that a parable?
Well, basically, shanda for the goyim means... This guy's actions are why non-Jewish people hate Jewish people.
Oh, that's not true.
Gotcha.
That
Paint
is-
academies.
That is not true. It's because you guys have all the money. No, but honest, I'm joking.
Elon Musk is not Jewish. Jeff Bezos, I'm not sure. Bill Gates,
he's
not
on the
Jewish.
fence. Bezos is
I
on
don't
the
know.
fence, though. He kinda...
That sounds Portuguese. It's got an O in it.
But
That sounds-
brother, that is dirty.
Yeah, dude, that's-
I feel dirty
Well, I mean-
reading that. I feel dirty
See,
reading
and this
that.
is... Oh, shit. So, my initial thought is maybe the cat...
What'd
maybe
you call it? Shabaya Lagoon?
Shonda for the Goyim.
Shonda
It means like
for the Goyim.
scandal.
Okay.
Like he
Shonda for the
scandalized the Jewish community by. So this makes me think maybe the Catholic priests are onto something by not getting married, because then you don't have to worry about murdering your wife.
Yeah, they just call the kids.
Yeah, I mean not all of them,
hashtag
but-
Spartan.
That gets edited out.
Hashtag Sparta.
No, what I said.
Yeah,
Anyways.
definitely edit that out. Yeah.
No, but
if you leave that in, I'm not getting a job at Vatican Radio.
no, for sure you're not. Also, is
let's-
it called
let's-
Vatican Radio?
I'm just gonna let's bleep out
The Mass.
103.15 fucking.
Thank you
Let's-
for tuning in to the Mass.
Let's bleep out every 4-letter
on
word.
77.7.
Let's bleep out every 4-letter word in this podcast so I can try to get a job at Vatican Radio when this is over.
But God, stop!
I'm trying to think
You
of more
are-
4-letter words.
That all gets bleeped out. But
What else is in there?
bitch stays in.
Oh, that's more than 4. What else is 4 letters?
No, I don't. What are your thoughts on Rabbi Fuckhole?
Does that count?
Jesus
Don't
Christ!
kill your wife. Like Judaism is a lot more cool with divorce than like Catholicism.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
and then like there.
Yeah, you just gotta wait until
Like-
her period's over, and if she has kids, you have to continue to pay for her house.
Yeah.
Well, like there were rabbis 2,000 years ago who were debating like divorces. And one rabbi was like, you know what? If your wife burns the brisket, that's grounds for divorce. 'Cause
Oh,
shame on
100%,
her.
100%.
In which case, just like, oh, hey, she burned the brisket. We're done. And then go on to whatever.
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Thoughts on the DOT dub? Weird that we did it at the end of the episode. That is a first time on TDG.
Glad I could be your first.
Glad you guys could all be witnesses to the ultimate plot twist that happened this evening.
Yeah.
Fueled by Old Forester Statesman and Bush Apple.
Fueled by New Forester Statesman.
What did I say?
I'm just saying because you can't probably. shout them out.
Yeah. Well,
I
fuck 'em.
mean,
yeah.
Hopefully,
Alrighty, guys, this has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm podcast. My name is Thomas Grimm.
Don't sound like a showman. I hate that. Like he runs a circus. My name is Brian Michael. Will you play some fucking outro music, or are we going to sit here with our fucking dick in our hands? This has been Thomas Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day, and this has been Paul Bragin. Sir, thank you so much.
thank you once again for having me.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. Goodbye.
See you next time.
Shalom Shabbat. Isn't that? Do they do it backwards? Well, that's like salam alaikum, alaikum salam.